I'm really happy to be here. I have no clue exactly what is going on.
Well, I'm actually really glad that you bring that up. So
Yeah, I'd love to know what the
this
format is here.
this is a sort of national collegiate league, and it's conducted in these modified crew battles.
Oh, that's
So
sick.
and so traditionally, right, a regular crew battle, you would have like 5v5, and then one person would go up against, and whoever has like stocks remaining, uh, will be able to move on to the next round. It
Right.
doesn't work like that here. It's actually
Really?
it's a little bit different.
Huh.
So what's gonna happen is we're gonna see two schools. They each of them have 5 players, but 2 players are gonna play a best of 3 instead. And what's going to happen is they're going to earn a certain amount of points. I'm not 100% sure on the point distribution, but I believe it's you gain a point for every stock that you have left over each game, and then you gain 2 points for winning the set.
That's actually pretty sick. I'm always like really open to seeing like new formats in Smash, like
Mhm.
just to see just to test the waters, really. And like, so this is like a crew battle, but it's really like it's almost like to prove which school has like the greater strength overall. Because the crew battles, you only get one shot. You get those 3 stocks and then you're done. But if you're playing a best of 3, you have time to
Mhm.
adapt. You have time to.
You have time to adapt.
Oh
You're going to be
yeah,
striking stages. It's a tournament set, and so on the individual level, this like really really helps like set play players really shine,
yeah,
so
for
that they don't just like one and done people. So it's a really interesting format for sure.
sure. Yeah. So up first, we got William and Mary versus Wichita State University. I believe Wichita's Kansas. I'm not sure where William and Mary is located.
Hmm.
But I don't know. MDVA. Okay, interesting. Okay. So that
Yeah.
So you get 2 schools with players that probably typically don't interact with each other,
Mhm.
like interacting, and that's kind of sick. That's super duper cool that online we can make all this stuff possible. So I'm really
Mhm.
excited to see the star players from each of these schools duking it out, showing which one can rep their school's pride even harder.
So last week, I believe William and Mary had maybe one of the most resounding, like, overbearing wins.
There's a fat
Uh,
W.
yeah, they took a fat W. They won 22 points to 6. But now we are jumping already into the first game. We're going to be seeing S. Rice up against the Palutena from Wichita.
Just straight rep in the school. That's what I like to see, honestly. Like that's how you wear your school pride on your back.
Absolutely. Already dash attack. For the really like basic stuff, able to get a little bit of damage going. Nothing too substantial yet, though.
Pretty much the goal objective for this matchup for Palu is just tack on as much damage as you can. Once you have Rob in disadvantage, just keep piling on that damage as much as you can. Do not let my man breathe whatsoever. And the game plan is almost kind of similar for Rob as well, in that you kind of just want to smother the opponent, given Rob's vast arsenal of attacks that
Mhm.
like gyro, laser, just like we see right there. And
Yeah.
Rob also has
Ooh.
incredible frame data in terms of boxing and even combos too. This character's kind of an all-around powerhouse.
Mhm. I think like it's gonna be like a really like momentum heavy match. Like where they're just gonna be like poking each other from across the stage for a little bit. But then as soon as somebody lands a hit up close, it's like, okay, well, now they're packing on 80, 60% for basically free. Right now, Wichita has the stage control, not able to get the punish on the landing. Really nicely timed neutral air dodge from S guys.
Now Estrai still having Wichita in the corner, and ooh, excellent arm rotor right there to not only prevent the gyro from hitting, but establishing stage control as well. This is totally Estrai's stock to take right now as they get the grab to down throw. Are they going to convert? Yes, they are with that up air. They'll be taking that first stock right there off Wichita.
Mhm. Right now, starting to maybe fish a little bit too much for these up airs because I feel like right now, SQS, all he's doing is just sort of like waiting a little bit and then just, reacting and neutral air dodging. Not seeing like a whole lot of baits. Maybe that's something I'd like to see moving forward in this game. But that being said, ooh, good interrupt on the explosive flame with the laser. Really nicely timed.
It's almost like Wichita is a little afraid to get their stuff started up because of how much oppression Rob is capable of doing to other
Mhm.
characters. Wow, okay, we're
Uh,
gonna see a little bit of a
well,
wobble right there.
go hold down the neutral, my son.
Yeah. Go forth, my son, do it. I believe in you.
I mean, look at him. It's an entire second player. It's a 2v1.
Pretty much, and it seems like Wichita is like pretty much really struggling right there to get anything started up. That being said, S-Rice just kind of being very, very patient in the face of Wichita, but gonna get scooped up by that back door right there. Finally, Wichita gets one on the board.
But now, that's a neutral, but unfortunately it was at full hop distance, so Wichita was unable to follow up with another neutral just about anything else in the kit. You can only really follow up at that from 0 at like short hop distance.
Ooh, and yeah, you don't want to be attacking Rob's shield unsafely with that dash attack, or else he can. My man's got that Häagen-Dazs, bro. He's got those scoops to take you right up to the last zone.
And I just got confirmation the tag of the Palutena is End City. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
How
That's
did
the power of a goddess, baby. He's gonna be able to make it back, but no tech right there. Gonna be putting.
Oh my gosh, that option coverage was ridiculous. That coverage, the jump in, the roll in, the neutral getup would have bumped you into the up smash, a getup attack too. That's just pain. That's such a nasty position to be in. That was beautiful option coverage coming from SOS. The best thing would have been just to wait. You know, just wait until the situation becomes a little bit more favorable. Maybe you could hit back gyro. You know, you can't always be buffering these ledge options because otherwise Rob is going to explode you for it.
It is to be noted that also the gyro kind of disappears after a set period of time. So if you do want to hang out on the ledge for a little bit and just be patient, you know, it's not. It may seem like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, but if you're just a little patient, you'll be able to get off the ledge versus Rob with no problem. You could do like a rising nair, maybe to catch the gyro on the way up or something like that. There are definitely a lot of ways to deal with Rob's ledge play. It's just at face value, it looks really, really scary.
Oh yeah, not just really scary, terrifying. It makes you like. I feel like a lot of players they're just like super tempted to like, you know, not a lot of people like mix up their timing too much. They either like buffer their options a little bit too quickly, or they get off at the same exact time. And if somebody has a read on your timing, they can cover almost all of your options at that specific instance. So
absolutely,
you know, just waiting until the situation becomes a little bit more favorable, definitely, you know, could work out for the better.
Is S-Rice's profile picture from an Earthbound game?
That is a phenomenal question. If it is,
it looks like a very Earthbound styled avatar, but I'm very, very curious to see what the stage counter pick is going to be here for Wichita. Or what was the Palu's tag again? End City?
End City, yep.
End City, okay. So I'm very curious to see what End City is going to counter pick here against Rob. It looked like almost they were kind of just de-rusting and getting their momentum started up a little bit. Like the first game of the day is probably the hardest game I think anybody will ever play, just because you not only have to get a feel for the game. It's like stepping into a car for the first time of the day, you know. Your driving isn't going to be peak as soon as you get out. It's only after you get off on the highway, then you're like, okay, I'm comfortable again.
Listen, it's a set, and that's the beauty of this format. It gives you everything that you need. It gives you the time to adapt. You could slow it down. You could mix it up. You could throw out another character. You know, there's plenty that you can do here. So going into game 2, sticking with the Rob and End City with the Palutena, they are going to be opting for, I would guess, yep, they're going to be going for the smaller stage. Makes it so much easier for Palu to break space on somebody like Rob.
Yeah, absolutely, and Auto Reticle puts in a fair amount of work as well. Even at max stage distance, I believe Auto Reticle should be able to reach Rob with no problem. It's just S-Rice is just so oppressive right now with all these aerials, which End City rather can't get their feet around all its teams. They just can't land.
Missing these techs and like, you know, as the gyro slowly comes for you, like what can you possibly do in that moment? You know, you just have to eat those hits. You have to reset the situation as soon as possible, and you can't be missing these techs. Messes up the jab lock, unfortunately.
One move I'd really like to see End City use more is Nair. I feel like it's one of Palu's best moves in her entire kit, and it can really save a lot of trouble. And it's pretty much your main combo starter against Rob a lot of the time. And they just haven't been throwing it out. They've been opting for more back airs, forward airs, and moves of that like. And
I feel like SOS wasn't even like positioning themselves in such a way that they would be ready to whiff punish neutral. SOS has been getting away with jumping a lot. And oh boy, nothing calls out you jumps more than funny spinny move that lasts a second.
Yeah, right now just End City does not look comfortable whatsoever. Like S-Rice has been jumping in front of him a lot of the time, and they've just not been able to punish it whatsoever. But finally, NCity getting something a little bit started here. Finally getting Rob on the back foot, but S-Rice quickly reversing it right here. Oh my, the Z chop into side B. That was cheeky.
Yeah, really good damage. S-Rice, wow, phenomenal edge guard there. You know, honestly, if you know the exact timing that a teleport recovery is going to be getting back to stage, you just wait through the audio cue, and it basically times the 2-frame for you.
Putting those thrusters to max, like it's like the third or fourth down air kill I've seen this set so far. So like S-Rice clearly has their timing done quite a bit, and now NCity has a lot of ground to make up. It looks really harrowing. They just haven't been able to finish their food when it comes to S-Rice.
We're now just slowing the game down a little bit once again. Exactly where NCity wants S-Rice to be. Not able to catch this landing. I feel like they're kind of overcommitting to some of these double jumps, and S-Rice is just reacting and drifting away. Yeah,
they tend to be sitting more comfortably into their double jump aerials when, like, I haven't seen a lot of grabs from NCity. I haven't really been seeing a lot of air. And they almost look like they're stuck in this linear game plan that they have. However, does manage to land the back air right there, finally taking that first stock off S-Rice. But is it too little too late?
Yeah, it very well might be, but you know what? Every stock matters because, again, with like a points-based system, that does mean like S-Rice, if they do end up winning this game, they will be cool. That's it. Yeah. No double jump.
Sometimes the Beyblade lets it rip, and then you're done. You're out of there. You're done.
Yeah, pretty convincing game to open up for William and Mary. I feel like for the most part, I don't know, NCity just couldn't get too much started, like just exactly as you mentioned before, we're not seeing a lot of what makes Palutena, right? Those neutral eggs. And as a result, S-Rice got away with jumping in a lot.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like they were playing Palu at only like 25% capacity or something like that. Like, that is, like, at a very basic level, Palu's kit can work a lot of favors for you, but if you utilize every tool in her arsenal, she can be
oppressive.
She's fearsome.
She can put you in the blender. She's gonna keep you there. She's gonna take you off the pulse setting, and just keep you going until you're the fine puree.
S-Rice kind of picked up on that as well, just how little NCity was using a lot of Palu's kit. They decided to go for a lot more aggressive options, and it definitely paid its dividends as NCity found themselves getting overwhelmed quite a bit throughout the duration of that entire set.
Definitely. Like too passive play sometimes, right? Like, in fighting games in general, you want to play like passive aggressively. You want to like just like sort of bait your opponent to approaches and then like pick and choose the timings that you're going in. But I just feel like for the most part, NCity wasn't going in at all, right? NCity wasn't capitalizing on these whiffs from S-Rice, and as a result, S-Rice was like, okay, I'm gonna just keep going, Yeah,
and that's really what you have to do. Like, take advantage of the momentum that you receive during a set. You just have to keep it going because if you do let up, it's the opponent's opportunity now to completely pull a reversal on you, and then they start running with the momentum. But S-Rice just never let NCity get anything started, and that's honestly what you have to do as Rob. You have to smother your opponent, whether it's with your defensive play or it's with your offensive play. Like, Rob can do it both. My man's a Swiss Army knife. Like, he's got that stuff in his arsenal.
Get yourself a man who does both.
Get you a man who do both. Get you a robot that can do both, that can both camp and attack. He can protect and he can attack. So I'm very curious to see. So now does Wichita send in, like, does S-Rice stay on and then Wichita sends in another player? Or
no, not at all. So S-Rice is done for the day then. They won the best of 3. So that means moving on, we're going to be seeing Barrett and Linny. I'm seeing like a couple different names since last week, but for the most part, I see a couple of like similarities.
Is there a way I can view the school's lineups?
Yes, you can. I will be sending you the spreadsheet right over.
Thank you.
But I will say that not too many of these players are recognizable to us Tri-State heads.
I'm always happy to learn about new players, though, especially there are some colleges got a lot of heat packing in terms of players. Like, some of the players that will be like the next big names are going to college, and that's where the main training ground is for a lot of players. So very, very curious to see who these guys got lined up on them. Trying to look through the document right now and figure it out.
Just looking through today, William and Mary has as guys coming up. We're going to be seeing Barrett and Lenny. William and Mary also has later on Outer Rim, Jafaldo. I remember Jafaldo, and Dizzy. While Wichita has Lenny, there it is, Apezilla, and Geonosis. So again, like not so many names that are particularly, like recognizable outside of the college or the region. But this is your time to shine, baby. You gotta stream. You got viewers. You got a couple of fellas to talk about it. So
this is the first bit of exposure that a lot of these players will be getting. So it's really refreshing to see that. I do not recognize any of these names, which makes me even more excited because then we maybe get to see some new breakout talent that'll be coming out here. But Barrett and Lenny going on. We got a Plant versus a Bowser player. So they are all playing. Are all the Wichita State people playing on the same Switch that just got all the boys huddled around the Switch right now? That's hype. That's the type of support you need, honestly.
This is not something that you see quite often, do you? Like Piranha Plant Bowser?
Oh yeah, never. Usually they're on the same side. They're both just trying to take out Mario. But now these guys are forced to fight each other. It sucks.
Wow, nice grab, nice catch on the whiff there. But what I'm realizing is, wow, Bowser can't follow up out of anything because that's just going to be a Patooey every single step of the way.
I think I like that Lenny might be aware of that. If anything, he's just trying to like get his, because Bowser does excel off of just getting a few big hits here or there. He's really good at just outlasting his opponent, just given how heavy he is. Right now, Barrett just can't get anything started. Calling out that jump, that landing right there, rather, with that up smash on Lenny. Lenny playing pretty well to start this off so far.
Did you see that attempt? Trying to go for something a little shasty with that one.
No way. Unfortunate for Lenny right there, but Barrett gonna be like, yes. All the boys, all the boys that William and Mary definitely popping off over that one.
Yeah, and just like that, Barrett off that one SD was just able to bring it back. Barrett pulling out all the tricks in the bag. We got the poison cloud, the down B, the neutral B. Like you can't see me, buddy.
Home. Oh my God, he knew.
Exactly. Yeah. So difficult. So difficult.
It's like a Venus flytrap, like waiting for its prey to come to them. Like he's like, oh man, I'm just this innocent little flower, and then you come up, and then the Patooey just comes out and bonks you right in the head.
But I also feel like it's really dangerous to give Piranha Plant too much stage and not be constantly up in their face, because as they slowly break space on you, they will be able to land a couple of hits, be it with Poison Cloud, which just deals an obscene amount of damage. Piranha Plant has a lot of option coverage when you're just stuck in the corner.
Yeah, Lenny whiffing that up smash right there, and Barrett can sneak in there with that. Looks like Barrett now has a little bit more momentum, using the Poison Cloud to hide a little bit, and that is, Barrett has Lenny exactly where he wants him. If you go above Plant, that is not a place that you want to be, or else you're going to get spiked by that Patooey.
By the way, Bowser being such a big body, I just noticed about the tech chase, no matter where he techs or what he does in that moment, he will be getting hit with Patooey. That is pain.
So now we're seeing a lot more even set in comparison to the last one we just had. But Barrett taking, seems to have found his footing a little bit. It seems that he's caught on to the fact that Lenny tends to... Oh! He's in your head. The read, the up smash read right there. He as soon as he was on that ledge, he put that Poison Cloud out. He knew, okay, what's my opponent's first thought? I gotta get out of here. I don't want to get hit by that.
Exactly. I mean, typically that's the debate, right? Because whenever Poison Cloud happens like that, a lot of Piranha Plants, they try to run under it and, start charging the Patooey or whatever. But then to go through that, that's, that was clever. That was cute, as a matter of fact. So I really like that. That was cool.
That was really good. Barrett looked off to like somewhat of a slow start at the beginning. They're kind of getting ran over, but as soon as the SD happened from Lenny, the momentum completely shifted, and Barrett was able to kind of dictate the pace of that game on his own. And it took him only a few good openings to really go through. He was very aware that, hey, this guy's trying to land on me a bunch of the time. I'm gonna use Patooey. I'm gonna try and cover every option he can, because Bowser's big. Bowser's a big boy, so anything he tries to do defensively might get hit if you're positioned just right.
Definitely. Honestly, no matter which level of play you are, SDs will happen. You know, it's up to you to just to like shake it off, reset, bring it back without getting antsy, without getting too hungry for it. Because otherwise, you know, the game will just completely slip away from you. You know, at some point you just have to cut the bleeding, cut the losses. And so, you know, that's the beauty of a set, right? And so going into game two, I'm curious to see how the dynamic and how the momentum is going to shift. You know, hopefully without any SDs like that.
Yeah, Wichita has to make something happen right here. It's already William and Mary has broken away with a 7-0 lead right now.
Mhm.
So they got to get something on the board here. You don't want to get completely swept.
Yo, Delfino Plaza. This is fantastic. There is no song I'd prefer. And by the way, that grab, fantastic choice. Was able to grab only right through the Patuit and able to get that nice little confirm off. But wow. No punish besides just a quick little left throw. You know what? I like it. Prioritize the stage control rather than getting a little too greedy with it. Nice and safe.
And Barrett holding the stage control like very, very nicely right now, just standing his ground and completely preventing Lenny from getting in there whatsoever. Really good stuff in so far. And it seems like he's become privy to all the options that Bowser can do on the ledge. He's making sure to watch out for that F-tilt 2-frame. He's making sure to watch out for the flamethrower and just recover safely. That's the kind of awareness you need against Bowser. Like, Bowser boils down to pretty much an execution test a lot of the time, so you can't fall for tricks.
That was beautiful. That was delicious. That was so spicy. He put himself there. He was waiting for it. He reacted to it beautifully. No matter what, Barrett was dead. Probably would have died to the down B at that point on the top platform. Maybe, maybe not. That was so good.
That was good. That was chef's kiss. That was really good. And now, once Bowser has a lead, he can never mind.
Never mind.
it does happen like that. Like I like though how Barrett didn't try to go for the same trick again. He realized that Lenny had already become privy to like his ledge trapping with the toxic cloud, trying to charge up smash on stage. So he said, you know what? I'm just gonna go off stage and get you, bro. All right. If you don't want to roll into my stuff, I'm gonna come get you. Whoa, yo, the follow-ups.
Ooh, I love that. That was such a good way. If only he could have charged it a little bit longer, he might have been able to get what he was looking for. Once again, setting up the poison cloud. And look at this. Look at this. Just respecting it so much that you just stuck at ledge, eating all that damage when you don't have to. 150% off stage against Plant. This is not a good position to be in, but I love the down air. That was really good.
I actually got him with that through the platform. That was crazy. Oh. I don't know if that was a read at all or just like misinput, but it worked in the favor.
See all the whip buttons.
That's a little circus right there they're putting on.
Speaking of circus, that was one of the most bizarre interactions I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Was able to connect the F tilt, but then Plant was still able to hit that extended hitbox. Good lord, what is happening this game?
Okay, finally finding that F tilt that they wanted, and now we're on even ground once again. You know, before Barrett was able to clutch it out with his stage control, but it seems like Lenny has taken a more grounded approach. And oh my god, we have liftoff.
I like that choice once again to go through the Patuit, but was a little bit too late with it. Bowser was able to get the shield out in time. Yeah, just look how slowly Barrett is taking this. Just like saying, "What, you want to approach me, big boy? Try me."
It seems like Lenny is almost respecting Patuit, I feel like, a bit too much. He had a good opportunity right there while Barrett was on the platform, and it seems like fair is Bowser's safest option in terms of dealing with Piranha Plant being stuck in the Patuit. That being said, though, getting to the point where a few more good hits can nail Lenny this game too right now, but Barrett does have the center stage control. That down smash coming out, not going to kill just yet.
Puts him in the percent lead, though. Now he's in perfect position to 2-frame, but once again, really good stall from Barrett. He's been doing this all set, just like, you know, no.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
It got me a little spooked. I know it's October. I wasn't ready to get spooked that hard yet, though.
Really good high recovery coming from Lenny, and just, you know what, the wake-up grab. Sure, why not?
Ooh, that was a fantastic high recovery right there from Lenny. That was so good. Oh my god. Okay, great F tilt too. The reason I love that high recovery so much was because it completely mitigated through the Patuit. Like it was very clear that Barrett was trying to get a Patuit to completely block off the recovery by ledge, but Lenny went a little bit higher than Barrett would be comfortable with covering, and it worked super, super well for him. That was really, really smart snap decision making right there, putting Wichita on the board. 7-1. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
1-1 in terms of game count. I think. Wait, for the first game, I believe Barrett came out of it with just a point lead, right?
Yeah,
They only had to
1.
stock up. Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Wichita could really use this game right now to put themselves back on the map because a 7-1 deficit, not fantastic, honestly, to start with. Of course, it's still doable, but what we've seen last week is that teams or schools rather, that tend to assert an early lead will hold that lead for the rest of the evening. It's like this slow, painful climb for the other school. So, if Wichita doesn't get this dub right now, it's just going to be so much more difficult for them to come back later.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the stats right now from previous ones as well. It just seems like once an early lead is established, it is a very, very hard climb to make it back up to the other school. That being said, though, with only single digits being in place right now, it is looking a lot better for Wichita to come back. So I'm very, very eager to see if they're going to pour on the gas. Lenny has a lot to prove right here because if Barrett does take this, it does extend the lead for William and Mary just a little bit more. But these guys have been kind of making micro adaptations to each other throughout the entire set. They haven't they've noticed as soon as one decision doesn't work twice, they will be quick to switch it up to maybe another game plan. It seems like these guys know what they're doing.
I think especially what they're doing is with the way that they space and they time their moves, I can see like really subtle adjustments, like those recoveries from Barrett, like those jab mix-ups that we've been seeing a couple times. No, it is PS2, buddy. You got pineappled.
That's rough.
It happens. Shake it off and just keep moving on. Yeah, that's what Patui does best. Just gets you out of those multi-hits if it's already charging.
Yeah, if you're in a bad situation, that's like a get out of jail free card. And yeah, Barrett keeps trying to go for these jabs on Lenny, and you can't do that to Bowser just given how tough guy works.
He's a tough lad. He's not going to tolerate it, not at all.
Don't put me in a boxing ring with Bowser. He'll win every time. My man will slug you. Okay, these up smashes, so much mileage.
It was a fantastic call out on the spot dodge. Kind of feel like Barrett has been doing that out of shield a bunch. Chomp.
Get him off the ledge, but Lenny just holding onto the stage for dear life.
And right now, Barrett, you see how Barrett has become a little bit afraid to go through those stalls again on PS2. Tries to go through the 2-frame with Patui, but unfortunately positions themselves poorly and was not able to execute it. That time was able to get a fantastic edge guard coming from Barrett. Sets up the poison cloud, kind of scares Lenny away. Sure, why not?
Okay, that worked. I felt like Lenny could have done something out of hit stun there just to get the momentum back on his side.
I think he was just like waiting to see where Barrett was gonna go, right?
Yeah.
Didn't want to overcommit too early, wanted to get a punish. And
he's being very patient. Like I've seen a lot of Bowsers in the past just be very aggressive, try to rush you down as hard as they can and just overwhelm you. But Lenny has been playing like very, very cautious.
Wow, I have no idea what Patui's re-hit rate is, but gosh, that was an uncomfortable interaction. That's a sweet spot. That's a sweet spot. Fire breath. Take 36%. Take 36%, silly. Do it.
So now these two just kind of not trying to make any overcommitments in neutral right now. We're just waiting for one to come to the other, but it's going to be Lenny who gets the benefit off of that one. Oh, tried to go for another flame breath, maybe to catch a spot dodge or a roll or something like that.
I like the fact that he didn't prioritize the edge guard, just went immediately for the ledge trap, recognizing that Bowser was not far enough. But that time, because he prioritized the ledge trap first, was able to set up a second, much better edge guard. Can't go through these multi-jabs, big boy. Just can't.
He's got to stop doing that. Yeah, he's gotten punished for that 3 times already. I wonder if he's going to catch on to it. That was a fantastic up smash, not only avoiding him getting hit by the Matsui coming down, and he's just going for it still. Oh my god, the coverage! That was so sick. Now Barrett looking on the back foot right now. This is looking very, very scary for him. One good hit from Bowser is going to seal the fate of my man.
Yeah, but you know what, Piranha Plant, like, I'm telling you, like, he does have, to some extent, a comeback mechanic. He can put on a lot of damage really, really quickly. I like the patience at ledge. Never mind, jump, nail, spot dodge, down smash. Sure. Remember, take everything I said about patience at the ledge and just forget about it.
And now
Ooh,
Barrett
so
finding
much.
some momentum back in him a little bit. A lot of damage. It doesn't see.
That's
Okay,
it.
never mind, he's done.
He's done. He's.
It was almost looking like Barrett was gonna make a complete recovery there. He got a lot of damage tacked up, and it seemed like Lenny was getting a little antsy for the kill right there, but managing to get that side B, finishing his food, and he's gonna be boosting Wichita up just a little bit more. I think that's what, another point, like 3 points for them or something.
So I see some people in chat talking a little bit about why Barrett wasn't going through uploads, and honestly, people underestimate the fact that Bowser is the heaviest character in the game. Yes, he was at 140% or above. I can assure you that back up throw would most certainly not kill at that point. It's Bowser. He's living for a long time. You know, it's you really need to like put like kill throws in the context of Bowser. So because Barrett was prioritizing all of those edge guards, he was able to get the stock much earlier than if he were just to fish for up throw all the time. It was a much smarter choice, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I liked the options he was picking because I think he became a little bit more aware of what Patui was going to do, and Lenny definitely managed to capitalize quite a bit off of that. So really good stuff to Wichita. Very curious to see what is coming up next.
Yeah, so coming up next, we are going to be seeing Outer Rim up against, there it is. I unfortunately cannot remember who either of these players tend to play. But yeah, this game was really good for Wichita, putting them back on the map right now. It is a total of 7-4. We have, 3 more best of 3s ahead of us for the school matchup. Oh gosh, Outer Rim. The tag is so familiar to me, and yet the character that they play escapes me.
Both of these tags are pretty funny. I must say, Outer Rim and there it is. Like,
Those are sick tags.
those are pretty sick tags.
Your tag is kind of sick, Fan9S.
It's not my tag.
Yeah, your tag is just Fang. That's your Twitter handle. Guys, by the way, if you haven't been doing so already, first and foremost, you should be following SSBU. If you didn't know, that's the channel that you're watching right now. So just hit that big blue heart. It doesn't cost anything for you to do that. Second of all, you guys could also be following us on social media if you're so inclined. You don't have to though, no pressure, hee. But you should most definitely be following our stream producer at House of 3000. They are one of the premier streaming services in all of Tri-State for Smash Bros. And they're just a bunch of really great guys. And I appreciate them a bunch.
Oh, so apparently that Bowser was not Lenny. The Bowser tag was Genosis. There it is. I've gotten some information from a trusted source saying that there it is plays Link and Lenny plays Mega Man actually. So maybe there was a little mishap with the name swap.
Not a mishap, but what happens is like sometimes they change up the order. And it's not listed that way.
Is it predetermined who goes up against who, or do they just send in whoever they want?
A phenomenal question. I assumed it was predetermined, but apparently I guess I was mistaken. Yeah, it seems like it's not particularly enforced or anything.
Sword. I'm very sorry to Stream Chat and also to both Lenny and Genosis for completely screwing up your tag for the entire set. But we got it. The valor has been given where it needs to be given. So we're gonna move on from there, and we're gonna be chilling. We're gonna be vibing.
So yeah, I guess we're just going to be waiting for Outer Rim to be joining the arena then. In that case, because as far as I know, Wichita just wants to play it all from one Switch, and honestly, that's really sick, man. I wish my school had that kind of like Smash team like camaraderie where like all of us were just like huddled up over one setup.
Get the whole squad together.
Get the whole squad together.
Get
Let's go.
All the peeps together. Yeah, they gas each other up. That's honestly like how tightly knit your group is in college will like determine how much you guys succeed as well, because you need that support. Like you need your boys and girls to have your back, especially in these crew battles, because when you're trying to prove that one school is better than the other, you got to show some support.
You got to show some support, and honestly, I just feel like it just like ties back into this idea of like people like being part of a team, man. You know, it's kind of nice. It's pleasant. Having your boys cheer for you whenever you like at a major or something, man, best feeling. Best feeling when like you got people from your legion behind you and who have your back. So I kind of feel that sentiment with this college, this collegiate thing. Seeing everybody in the chat pull up for their boys. It's sick. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I like it a lot better because back in my day, back when I went to school as well, we had a collegiate league called the Melee Games.
Melee game.
Yeah, and that schools would visit each other and do their own like independent streams, or like they'd go to a local or something like that, and they'd play it out. So now that all this stuff is online, it is so sick because two schools can fight each other from anywhere. And it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful to see collegiate Smash out here.
Speaking of beautiful, the first 5 seconds of the game, we already see a reflected Alkrandu and the Kaboom already putting out of them at 79%.
You ever watch any of the Harry Potter movies? Because that's what we're seeing right now. We were just saying, or Wizards of Waverly Place if you built like that. We're just seeing spells flying left and right.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I've actually ever sat down and seen this matchup in my life. I really like the patience from the hero at ledge though, just sort of waiting out those arc fires after all the unlimited resources. Robin is eventually going to run out of those, and man, when she does, you can just come back on.
Okay, yeah, and we're just seeing it's kind of a interesting matchup because when you do have zoning tools against Hero, it can make things a little bit easier. If you're a character that tends to scrap with Hero, you have to really navigate through all the spells and stuff first. But Robin doesn't have to go through a menu to pick their spells. They can just shoot, charge up their neutral B or side B and then just throw it out there. And so I'm very curious to see how this hero is going to deal with Outer Rim's Robin and the arsenal of tools that they have at their disposal, because you don't tend to see a lot of matchups where a zoner fights Hero.
Wow, that psych up grounded down in just did an absurd knock that.
He's kind of schmoving right now. The Accelerato B reverse like that, you get mad distance off of that. I didn't realize. That's insane.
Accelerato Speedman on him, man. You're just zooming through the sky.
Just zooming.
I'm
Literal
really
zoomer.
I'm really interested to see how balance changes the dynamic of this matchup. I feel like in a lot of matchups where, characters are really projectile reliant in their neutral, it just forces you to play completely differently. Robin is definitely one of those villagers, another one of those. You just have to wait and stall until you can play like normal again,
I also like that this hero seems to be very aware of Robin's close quarter combat. If you're jumping in front of Robin, Robin's forward air is a really, really great anti-air tool that can pick you out of the air at a moment's notice. So I like that this hero has been playing more back. And if they are at mid-range, they're using side B or moves that can safely poke out Robin without Robin's devastating aerials hitting them.
But yeah, like you see like out of them completely changing up the way that they play, going for a lot of these falling aerials, but Hero being very, very careful, making sure none of those hit the shield. Love the way that ledge, recognizing that none of those arc fires would have gone under the ledge and was just able to roll in. Beautiful stuff. Ooh, okay.
So this hero's tag is Apezilla. So we got Apezilla and Outer Rim going at it against each other right now. And honestly, both of them looking surprisingly like super competent with each other. I can't even imagine how often this matchup ever comes up because I've certainly never seen it in my life before. But Outer Rim just kind of keeping Apezilla at bay with these neutral beats, the throws. Hero does need some time to get their spells started up.
Yeah, right now just sort of waiting. Even if Hero's facing the other direction, he can easily reverse his down B by using C-Stick. So always something to be mindful of. Still making it back onto the stage. Going to be patiently fighting their way out of the corner. I love that. Not forcing their way back on. Using the projectiles just to cover them a little bit.
Outer Rim, though, just kind of pressing the gas a little bit, not trying to throw away this stock whatsoever. Keeping Apezilla at bay with just all of these projectiles. And Apezilla has been forced to respect all of them and not been able to throw out any spells whatsoever. Maybe they're waiting for the spells, or tomes rather, to wear out. for Robin? I'm not sure. Oh, wow.
Tries to go for it, but unfortunately was a little bit too slow on it. I also don't think the arc fire would have popped them up high enough to be able to connect the up smash. But either way, finally cleaning up the stock. Very, very nice, solid landing back here. But off stage against Robin, going Zoom is so big. It is such an important option. Again!
Sometimes you just gotta get out of there. You just gotta escape. You can completely mitigate disadvantage if you've got a move that gets you out of it immediately. That being said, though, getting caught by the arc fire right there to back air, really, really good stuff from Outer Rim. Outer Rim doing a great job just keeping their cool for most of that game, not overextending whatsoever to get clipped by any of Hero's specials or even just attacks in general. Like they kept them at a respectable distance so aerials wouldn't be able to hit them, and they also made sure to play patiently enough to where they wouldn't be caught in a situation where they were getting hit by a spell. Just really, really solid play right there, coming out of Outer Rim.
Hmm. Like, that was a tough start. I really think that was a really tough and unfortunate start for Outer Rim, taking 70% right off the bat. But then you saw them say, haha, I have my own spells, and retorting with their own 70%. They did a good job of just exactly as you said, keeping it level-headed, keeping it really, really composed. I feel like for either of these players, it's a really easy matchup to get kind of overwhelmed or stressed out in. And once that happens, you're getting hit with everything.
Yeah, but both these guys seem to know at a glance what exactly would be like overextending, what distance they have to maintain between each other. And really, at that point, it was a battle of who could get their confirm off of a hit, rather. I think Robin might have a little bit easier of a time just given how Arcfire works of getting in. It seems like, you know, the luck of the draw really is on Hero's side for this matchup, because if they can't really jump in with their aerials a lot of the time, just given how quickly Robin can kind of pick you out of the air. So it's kind of up for the spells to open up the stage control for Abezilla here. So I'm very, very curious to see how they're going to manage to deal with that.
I also think for a good chunk of this, I would like to say that it might have been more difficult for Abezilla to clutch out those stocks. I think Robin very much so is a setup character. Robin has a lot of confirms. Robin has a lot of traps. Robin has a lot of consistent ways to be able to deal that damage. While I feel like Hero generally as a character has to rely more on like stray massive hits that you really don't expect sometimes.
Yeah, and I totally agree right there, honestly. I'm very curious to see what stage they're going to go with here. It seems like they've geared up and they're ready to go. I don't even know what stage. Maybe something with less space for Abezilla's sake, most likely, because it seemed like their main struggle was just getting in and trying to capitalize off kills. Like I know that Abezilla does go for like offstage kills, because we saw with the Acceleratle stocks where they were just throwing themselves off stage at light speeds to try and get that edge guard on those Elwins. So I'm very, very curious to see what the game plan is here coming into this game.
You also have to
PS2. Okay, that wouldn't be a bad pick, honestly, because it's pretty close.
I feel like stages with this matchup are really strange. You don't want to give Hero too much space in general. You don't want to like it's generally favorable for Hero to gain a lot of space since they have more time to set things up, right? Because once they have, you know, the whole rainbow, you know, following alongside them, then they're able to really start approaching and pressure you, because there's like all of that fear of, oh my god, they could break my shield with a back hit. So you're gonna get right back to PS2, Outer Rim with the skin switch. This is something Outer Rim did last week as well.
Oh, really? Okay, so the skin switch to Full Metal Alchemist, Robin. Very, very curious to see what possibilities this opens up. Right now, already we're seeing a good amount of damage. Just like I said before, those great aerials that Robin has, just kind of taking Abezilla for a bit of a ride at the start of that. But I like the stage control that Abezilla is trying to establish right now.
Wow, but there is no way that those two Elwin
It's actually insane how like these guys have very similar spells in terms of elements, but they all function incredibly differently. Oh my god! That was the biggest brain thing I've ever seen in my life.
But why? Well, like, what did you have to gain from that? You just got to immediately dash attack, get you jump stuffed out by the forward out of them sitting at a very comfortable, very cool 40%, just, circulating around the platform, taking the sweet old time, recognizing the fact that they don't need to really be doing anything right now. This is a huge lead, a massive lead.
Yeah, it seems like this matchup is almost like a war of attrition, like you said. Like both of these guys just trying to whittle away at each other bit by bit, and even like there are certain matchups where like a stock lead is like a lot more than in comparison to other matchups. I think this is one of those matchups that like a stock lead matters so much because these guys aren't like whisking away at each other's stocks super quickly. It seems like just a slow burn in terms of how this matchup is supposed to go.
Tries to like really like I love those whiffed aerials because it just sort of makes the opponent so much more inclined to stay grounded. It's really good conditioning. You see how like Apesel is just getting punished every time they touch the air, every time they try to go down. They're just getting hit and hit and hit over and over again.
Yeah, this is a no landing zone right there. And outer rim, this is going to be scoring William and Mary big points if they manage to take this with the 3 stock right here. So outer rim might be holding. Outer rim might already know, like, okay, I do like the gameplay switch up from Apezilla. I think they've realized that, okay, me trying to turtle them out with spells isn't going to work too much, so I have to take the aggressive approach now and start swinging. You got a sword, bro. Start swinging it.
And wow, you just really have to fight your instincts like with your character. You have to fight every instinct to like tech chase how you normally would. While Apezilla says, you know what, I'm stock down, I might as well go for it. Got to get the whack, or excuse me, the whack was not able to find it though. Just not giving them the time of day to open up that menu. Imagine going to a restaurant and you're just like talking to the waiter and you just say, hey, can I get a, and you just get interrupted.
And then you just blue screen. But it seems like Outer Rim also changing their game plan up a bit more, just kind of threatening this space. Now I feel like Apezilla is going back to their former game plan, which is like, I feel like you need to close the space.
Ooh.
That was so lucky because that down smash does hit
behind
Robin as well.
Behind, and every time you get hit by it, you're like, damn, I feel cheated.
Yeah, it's like, but the bronze sword ain't the greatest. One more good conversion towards the edge of the stage, or just hit him with the lightning sword. Hit him with the 11th sword. Just
sometimes you just gotta, lift your head and smell the ghosts. It's great. If you're a little too preoccupied and tunnel vision into doing whatever it is that you're doing, Robin's just gonna back you like that.
Yeah, my man was doing a book report or something in midair while Robin was coming right at it with the sword. Like my man was like, chapter 3. It was a dark and stormy night. Get stabbed. You gotta not get lost in the sauce of your spells sometimes, especially in a matchup where a character's zoning is just as potent as their normals. Like you gotta be very careful. Maybe you want to close that book. Maybe be a little more patient. Start swinging that sword a little bit. It's important to be both a scholar on and off the battlefield, but I don't think that's the spell reading was the right time to do that right there.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, it's so easy to like really get fixated on whatever it is that you want to do instead of like looking at what's happening in front of you, doing the things that you have to be doing, or and when you get like so fixated on that, you fail to recognize like what's happening and you fail to react, and thus Apezilla met the untimely end.
Pretty unfortunate for Wichita State University, but hopefully they're patting their boy on the back right now and sending in the next dude to sit down on that switch. That's so funny that they're all using one switch. That's so hype too.
That's so hype.
Cool. That's so cool.
Yeah,
it's the teamwork we need. So my guess is they're going to be sending. I don't know if they're going to be doing There It Is or Linny, and then the last 2 players from William and Mary are Loco and Dizzy. Not too sure Loco and Dizzy play. What'd you say, Devin? Okay, so we're gonna be seeing some Link action. I like the good part about like college rosters is like a lot of college kids really don't care about the meta. They'll just play like whatever
Play
character they
whoever
like playing
brings
a lot.
them joy and happiness.
Exactly, because a lot of them will just be playing whatever character they like playing. So you'll see some crazy picks. Like the diversity on both of these crews has been wild. Like we haven't seen any repeats of any characters or anything like that. I know there are a lot of characters in this game, but we've been seeing characters of all types of tiers, shapes, and sizes.
I will say that you're correct for today, but last week we saw multiple Bowsers and Robs on the same team. Like it was a trend. It was
Swatted
just,
up.
yep, it was pain. Let me tell you. But we're gonna be seeing Luco, and there it is. Luco, if I'm not mistaken, plays Joker. I'm pretty sure that they played Joker last week.
So I'm assuming we're probably gonna get Luco against There It Is, which means so it's gonna be Link versus Joker, I guess.
Something along those lines, yeah.
That is
Or
correct.
if it's gonna be against Lenny, maybe it'll be Mega Man. I guess time will tell.
I'm pretty excited though. This has been a pretty entertaining crew battle of sorts so far. So I'm very, very excited to see what these schools have got left in the tank. There's a lot of ground that Wichita State University has to make up here. Do you think they can do it? Do you think it's like feasible that they'll be able to mount a comeback here? It's 12-4 right now, so I don't know if
it's 12-4. The two matches ahead of them. Of course, mathematically, it's possible. In fact, you can gain up to 8 points per game if you double three-stock your opponent. But you gain 8 points for doing that. You know, they could easily come out of this with 20-12. But consistently, William and Mary has, without a doubt, bodied the school that they were fighting against last week, and they bodied them. And okay, yeah, this is going to be There It Is. William and Mary, I think, is a really powerful force to be reckoned with. So now we're going to be seeing Luco up against There It Is. Game 1 going to be starting off on PS2. And honestly, this is just going to be like a waiting game until Joker is able to get in on Link. And then, you know, oh boy.
I think Joker is one of the characters that can kind of whiff punish Link from close range. They have like a very slippery sort of movement to them, so they can work their way into Link's zone. Just like we're seeing right now, Luco approaching in with these nairs right now, just trying to get in.
Who tries to go for the optimal punish, very, very smart. Usually most people, they just go for get up attack, right? Just to reset, get a little bit of damage, but you gotta be careful when you go for those kinds of commitments. You mess up just a little bit, and then you're just eating that fully charged down smash.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
Didn't up me in time. You fumbled the bag.
He did fumble the bag right there, unfortunately, because that would have been such a really good lead for William Mary right there on Luco's part. But trading stocks right there, now giving There It Is a little bit more time to make up his ground, because that would have been an absurdly good lead, especially if you're playing Joker, because Joker has pretty good zoning tools. And once he gets Arsene, that's where the steamroll should start coming out.
Ooh, really, really nicely spaced that felt there. Even it had, whatchamacallit, There It Is kept up that shield that still would have, you know, just been perfectly safe. Like all of the shield pressure, just so menacing. There It Is just really slow it down. What happened?
He did the up B, I think, a little too early, or just kind of, I don't know. I don't think Link can like shorten it, but like he just didn't push far enough. Maybe he was a little scared of getting edge guarded right there by Luco. I'm not sure what was going on there, but yeah, Luco not giving my mans any room to breathe whatsoever, just staying in there as much as they can.
Ooh, gets the back hits of the up smash to connect into themselves. Easier said than done. Link's up smash can be one of the more inconsistent moves in the game. So very, very fortunate for them. Forward air, had that been a little bit closer to the side, that most definitely would have killed. And a nice bait on the get up attack. That is such a good general option if you have like a quick, you know, out of shield move that will kill. You just kind of bait them to get up attack you by just pressing buttons.
Yeah, it's a great get off me tool for sure, and also just really good for wrapping up those stocks, like right there, as you said. Now looking a little bit better for There It Is. It just seems like though Luco has been getting more off of their interactions as the game has been progressing right here. So I think There It Is needs to just make sure he maintains that stock as much as he can. It seems like Link tends to struggle the most when they've lost their stage control and once they enter disadvantage a bit, because they do tend to move a little slowly. Horizontal wise in the air.
Ooh, forces the low recovery, really, really smart. I love it when players go for like feint double jumps off the stage. It just really terrifies them. Link was grabbed out of his down air animation and just immediately transitioned to like the other one, and that just looked so uncomfortable.
I almost would have opted to not go for the quick recovery if I were there it is, because against Arsene, you want to.
I don't know. I really wouldn't want to be on ledge against Arsene. Right?
It's scary, but the more patient you are against Arsene, the more time runs out. Of course, you can also decrease the counter by hitting him a bunch as well. But I feel like trying to play neutral against Arsene while the meter's charged up is a lot scarier than kind of turtling as much as you can and trying to whittle that Arsene down. Of course, there's multiple schools of thought on how to deal with Arsene, so maybe my method isn't the greatest one, but it's definitely one of the two that people tend to use a lot. And like you said, you also, presented the other side where if I hit Arsene, if I hit Joker a bunch, the ghosty is gonna go away. So I don't know, but when your back is to the wall like that, I feel almost playing more patiently and letting the clock run will almost give you more benefit, because it takes a while for that meter to rev up again if the Joker isn't using Rebel's Guard a lot of the time.
Yeah, that being said, though, I feel like Luco was really, really on top of it, was just able to move around a lot of, whatchamacallit, there it is, a zoning, or attempts to zone at least, wasn't getting hit by Boomerang a lot, and thus wasn't able to get hit by all of those conversions. So, yeah, I think going into game 2, maybe just like a little bit more smarter spacing on stuff like Boomerang, just to like get a better understanding of how Luco likes to jump in and approach, and then we'll just go from there, I guess.
So I believe if Luco does manage to clutch this game out, that is a done deal for William and Mary to be taking it over Wichita State University. So this is Wichita's last chance really to dig deep and try and bring something back.
They gotta pull this one out, otherwise it's just gonna be curtains. And even if it is inevitable, they're still gonna play out for game 5 because it matters. The points do matter for like the end of the season stuff.
Okay.
That being said, wow, just able to get under all of those jabs with a down tilt. What an interesting interaction there. I mean, right now we definitely. Okay. Just interrupted my entire train of thought by just floating aside. Gotta be careful about extending on Link's shield like that. He has a quick all coverage out of shield option, but of course if he whiffs it, big punish, big punish.
Now there it is, playing a lot more slowly than he was before, not really taking the aggressive.
Oh my god! And that's why you don't recover low against Joker. That's the Lynx. They have their big, dumb, stinky head vulnerable as they go up. Sure, they have a menacing hitbox on the side, but ain't nothing on top. So that's a put down air for everybody in the cast. You should be consistently getting those.
Joker hit him with the "I like your cut, G." Like your cut, G. Cool.
Oh wow, upbeat almost killing, but not quite yet. Joker's still gonna be alive a little bit longer.
Ooh, keep swinging, bro. Keep swinging that F tilt, because that F tilt is really, really good for ledge coverage right there. And I think Luco got a little too antsy with his getup and just got leaped into by that.
Try to go for some drag down up air stuff. Really good idea, but unfortunately setting up the tech chase with the second iteration of the down throw. Really appreciate the effort there. This is still a mostly even game in the percent. Just on climbing NBSD at the worst possible time. Luco squatting to the side as though to pay his respects, give his condolences, and then proceed to attempt to murder Link again.
Take a knee to mourn your fellow soldier in battle. That was so unfortunate. That's like the exact opposite thing that Wichita State needed right there. Now there it is going to have to dig super duper deep and try to make this comeback whatsoever. But with Arsene up, it's looking the death of our good pal Link is looking much more imminent.
Well, that's a really good just stop on the F smash. Good recognition, understanding that, you know what, that counter is active. I am not getting anywhere near that. Good spot dodge, no punish though. Just throwing out all of these counters, these close quarters, and it's just making it is so scary and uncomfortable.
My man just keeps trying to use these upbeats that have shield against edge.
Good
He's
high
getting a
recovery.
little flustered right now. Yeah, that was a really great recovery right there because he's been getting edge guarded kind of most of this game. I think he's realized that going a little bit higher than okay. The F smash does come out, sending Joker off the top. There's a slim chance here, Dar. There's a slim chance here that Darren isn't going to be able to bring it back. He just needs to win these neutral interactions.
Down tilt, not able to get the up tilt Joker. Able good DI, by the way. Oh, mamma mia, pizzeria. That was one fucking spicy meatball. That was so good.
You
really
need to know your confirms, and my man was ready for it. That was the first time he hit him with that all set, and he managed to get it.
That was so good. That was. I am so sorry about my my language for a second. That just sort of came out of my body.
That was very funny.
Wow. That was clean. That was such a good, consistent way to wrap up that stock. That execution, especially on Wi-Fi, impeccable. Delicious, as a matter of fact.
So that is going to be securing the W for William and Mary here. Wichita State University still needs to get as much points as they can. Though.
They gotta play for the points, man. That's the whole purpose of these game fives, and we have been seeing so many of those last week, where the game five was already determined who's gonna be winning the set. But you know what? You still want to go out there and give it your all, because at the end of the season, it's not about the battle; it's the war. Something along those lines. Listen, there is an analogy somewhere, okay?
And the war has been lost, but luckily you can still win one battle, if you so please, to get those extra points to nail you the end of the season really nicely. So I think we're gonna be seeing Jafaldo versus Linny. So we're gonna be seeing Mega Man versus I have no idea. So so far though, the MVP for both schools, let's go over them real quick. The MVP for William and Mary so far is S. Rice, getting 6 points on the board for William and Mary in one sitting. And the MVP currently for Wichita State University is Geonosis with that excellent Bowser, going to be netting 4 points.
Yeah, and the only 4 points.
Oh yeah,
that Wichita is holding at all.
Team on his back.
I'm still a little bit shook from that stock. I don't know why my inner Italian comes out. I'm not even Italian at all, as a matter of fact. But I just happen to manifest, manifest some kind of Italian. That being said, match 5, Jafaldo against Linny. I can't remember for the life of me who Jafaldo played last week. It was somebody different, but that's all I could tell you for now.
Huh. So he do be built different. And I'm very curious to see. Yeah, it can be very disheartening when you know your team is lost, but you have to muster up as much courage. You know, you still came here to play. You still came here to do your best.
Listen, you came here to game.
You can't give up.
You've got to game. You know, because you know what, guys, we're gamers with an E in it. And we're here to play a little video game. We're here to win, and we're here to well, not we. I meant you guys. But we're here to take the dub and get some points for your team. So never count yourselves out. Always get yourself a little bit of recognition. You can always get yourself some cool clips. And guys, by the way, as a quick little reminder on the topic of clips, now is the time to be going onto your Nintendo Switch and saving all of your clips and replays as videos, because as you know, it's going to be a big patch tonight, and that means all of your replays are useless after tonight.
Yeah, make sure you save your spicy plays. If they haven't been clipped on a Twitch stream, make sure you go, take a capture card or borrow your buddies. Ask them, bro, please, can I hit that Elgato real quick, bro?
Can I hit that Elgato?
Yeah, dude. Make sure you record your clips, kids. Make sure you record your clips. Anyway, we're gonna be seeing Zero Suit Samus versus Mega Man right here. So now we got some good characters out here. Got some good characters.
Oh, look at them playing good characters. I'm so proud. Guys, you owe it to your mental health and like your general well-being to play a top tier. Do it, please.
Plus, it makes you happy to play a character that's top tier. Your happiness, I think, should come first. You might be more consistently happy if you win, if you're that type of player.
Yes. So game 1, they are going to be starting off on Town and City. Already phenomenal tech chase with those jabs. But not able to get too much more other than a dash attack. Right now, goodness, what's the tag? Linny holding a pretty good lead for themselves.
Yeah, Lenny doing a great job of what Mega Man does best, which is just applying that chip damage
Ooh.
very slowly until they're able to net that kill. And Jafaldo just cannot seem to get it. Really, in matchups like these, it's very important for Zero Suit Samus to be using their ranged aerials to poke in like there.
That's
Oh,
it.
and that's it. Goodbye.
And a little fox too. Okay.
We're not in Kansas no more. We're out of here.
Yeah, wow. Able to get the Z drop Metal Blade into the foil. Really, really nice, really clean. I love how Lenny just playing the super slowly and steadily, very comfortable in the conversions, really good option coverage overall, good role in recognizing and understanding that Zoot Suit was not spaced appropriately to cover that option.
And right now, Lenny doing such a fantastic job of catching these landings right now from Jafaldo. Jafaldo just can't seem to get in whatsoever. That's well, once Zero Suit Samus is in, she does tend to do a lot, but poking and being patiently and just navigating around the opponent's space is very,
Ooh,
very
phenomenal.
difficult.
And again, the call out on those flip kicks, you can't get away with those flip kicks against Lenny unless, of course, you do one of those. Nice punish on the smash there. But Lenny is looking so confident on those punishes. In the first stock, we saw use of up air to call out the flip kick. Now we're seeing F smash. Really, really smart, in my opinion. This is really smart.
Almost getting whipped. Oh my god, you just can't land right there on those hedge clippers.
Not at all.
Lenny taking a fat lead right now. Where was this earlier for Wichita State? My man's running away with this one now.
Hyman's wants this to be stock.
He does.
You are down throw into the foil there. Really, really good catch on the DI in there. And just like using like this downbeat just to sort of say, hey Jeff, you really don't want to come in here with your jabs or anything. You're gonna have to play keep away. They're just taking all this time to set up the projectiles and they're getting away with it.
Right now, Lenny playing defensively so well and just finding every opening he can. I think this is what a lot of Mega Man players tend to excel at, is just being very patient, waiting to get their damage. They know they're probably not going to cheese a lot of early stocks, so they just try to tack on the damage and remain as evasive as possible, barely avoiding that flip kick. Jafaldo just can't seem to come up with any answers. My man didn't look like he studied for this test.
Lenny's spacing is just impeccable and positioning is just extraordinary. Just being able to avoid all of Zero Suit's attacks, and that's no easy task when you consider just how massive they are and how much space they cover. Yeah, just really good patience, just getting that chip damage in, chip by chip by chip, and eventually the nut chips. You've got a plate of nachos.
Right now, the Lenny main goal here is to maintain this third stock so they can maximize the amount of points as they can. You know, trying to secure that MVP for Wichita State right now, and just managing to get in one more good back air should do it. He's just got to make sure he doesn't get killed by any like a back air or something from Zero Suit. I feel like that's the only
and falling out of that forward, man. Zero Suit's fair. I have never seen that move connect in my life, and that is the 3-stock super clean play from Lenny.
Wow, that's the first 3-stock we've seen this entire battle. Pretty sure.
That was clean. That was steady. That was such reserved and controlled play, which I just love seeing. Like didn't overcommit, just played patiently, baited out the side B, punished it with Leaf Shield every single time, every step of the way. Lenny is kind of sick. Not just kind of sick, pretty sick.
Kind of nice. It's kind of got the sauce now. My man is playing Pico de Gallo Man, so he's out here. He's playing Guac Man right now. But I think you're right. My man looking like a whole plate of nachos right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking spicy out there. Very curious to see what stage they're going to go to next. Jafaldo gonna have to dig deep and bring something back, because that was kind of a slaughter. My man just couldn't seem to sneak his way in and get those hits. He couldn't poke him out.
Committed. He didn't bait anything. I feel like for Mega Man. I feel like often, what do you call it? It was just more so Lenny was like saying, okay, buddy, you're going to side beat right about now. Oh, you side beat? Phenomenal. It is now time for me to Leaf Shield you over and over and over again. And then every single time that Jafaldo would push in with something like dash attack on shield or, you know, something. You know, we saw a smash attack where we saw a grab and the damage just kept piling and piling up.
Yeah, they seem to be punishing they being Lenny, punishing a lot of Jafaldo's overcommitments at that time. Like, Lenny didn't typically be the one to swing first most of the time. I'm really very curious to see if Jafaldo can maybe make some improvements from how that game one went. think they need to poke a bit more safely because Zero Suit does best when you use her moves that can't be punished, when you do that max space Zair, when you poke out with side B and stuff like that. Just trying to aggressively camp in your opponent's face to bait them out, to swing first and then blowing them up. That's the important game plan when it comes to playing Zero Suit in matchups such as this.
Game 2 going to be opting for Battlefield. Not really sure the reasoning behind it. I'm no particular expert on Zootsuit or what she does often. Ooh, that was a really smart check. So basically what happened there, Lenny was trying to see if he could crouch under Zero Suit's neutral B, and then saw that, you know what, his model doesn't look like it's going to go under it, and just decided to move on with it. So he just got like a little bit of matchup notes with that 1 and 2 action. Very smart.
My assumption is that Jafaldo wanted more real estate to work with. I feel like the platforms can aid with Zero Suit landing and having more mobility options. And also just the juggles that you can get off of catching these landings right here. But oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, ooh, tries to go for the Shoryuken out of the shield. Not able to find it though.
I don't think I've heard this song in any set before ever.
Yeah, it's actually like throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, what a spike!
You know who's getting thrown off right now? Jafaldo. After give him the power fist right there, man. Give him the Thanos glove right to the face. And this leaf shield is putting in so much work right now for Linny, just making sure to catch and mix up on it's one of the best tools I'd say in the game, just because it can cover Mega Man's landings a lot, and against a character like Mega Man you want to find all the openings you can, but if my man doesn't give you any, you're not going to be able to hit him.
And like and just like once again, like Jafaldo was struggling to get anything initiated. Lenny's ledge trapping is super solid, super patient, very reactionary. Jafaldo trying to go in super deep to try to bait the low recovery, not going to go to ledge, just immediately opts for the high recovery. What a mix up. And keep Jafaldo stuck in shield, able to get the down air and an up smash. Are we going to be seeing another 3
Are we going to be seeing a 6 stock for this one? Because
that's the coveted 8 points.
Oh,
no, what a call out.
Jafaldo said no.
Said no.
Finally that boost kick to catch that right there. Now Jafaldo, maybe with this 1 stock, maybe gonna be able to start something up right here, because all it takes is 1 stock to shift the momentum completely in the match.
And boy oh boy, can those to take those stocks. A nice little net flip kick is all she needs. And you see Jafaldo start fishing for it a little bit. We're seeing these falling nails on the shield, facing the ledge. That's the down B, not able to get any follow-up from it though, unfortunately. Not positioned to be able to do that.
Oh, wow, yeah, just catch. I love the patience from Lenny right now, just catching all of these rolls off of Miss Text right here.
Good use of Metal Blade, really good option cover.
Yeah, really good stuff right now. Like he's just covering everything. Like there's, I don't see a conceivable way Jafaldo's been able to get him like once. My man's just been sitting in shield playing super defensively, but now I feel like Jafaldo's starting to adapt a little bit, using those grabs, because he's realizing that that Lenny is playing as defensive as they possibly can.
Definitely started to mix it up quite a bit. And again, this leaf shield just putting in so much work for Lenny. Look at this. When somebody has that change in tempo where they just start standing in place, the opponent freaks out for a second. They're like, oh my god, what are they doing? What are they plotting? And in reality, probably nothing.
Yeah, catching the end of that flip kick. Very unfortunate. Zero Suit landing on the platform actually right after that flip kick, causing a little bit of end lag, and it gave Lenny the proper time to get that up smash, and that's the game.
Yeah,
right there. So I believe the final totals right now for the schools are 16-11. Not as bad as it could have been.
Not as bad as it could have been. Not at all. Not a single point going to William and Mary for the entirety of that set. Very solid, very clean 7 points, almost at the perfect, highly coveted 8 points. And with that being said, gamers, that means William and Mary are your champions for game 1. You know, they took it pretty confidently in the beginning, but you know what? Lenny really did a good job of making it so much closer than it was. 16-11 points. And with that being said, we are going to be seeing a rotation of schools and players. So I assume a lot of you are going to be rotating out. Wanted to say thank you so much to everybody that came through to support the boys. First and foremost, you should be following EGF SSBU on Twitch. Just hit that nice purple blue button. Cost you absolutely nothing to do it. Second, you should be following House of 3000 on Twitter. They do a phenomenal job of producing the matches. And then third, you should follow Fang at Fan9S.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for having me. Definitely make sure to drop Dara a follow as well. If you enjoy the voices that you're hearing right now, make sure to hit. If you got that Twitter, you got that little blue bird, make sure access these Twitters. Also, you can also follow House of 3000 on Twitter as well. They do a lot for the tri-state scene in terms of broadcasting and stuff.
Tri-State Smash would not be where it is without House of 3000. And that is a fact. There are a lot of organizations responsible for getting Tri-State to where it is today, but House of 3000 is one of the big boys. It's one of the big players. And they're really fantastic. And also, they're just really friendly people.
You also get to see the best Smash from the best region in the entire world. So that's maybe something to consider as well if you're looking to take some notes, watch some VODs, and enjoy just some good all-around Smash. But yeah, so the MVPs for both the schools, S-Rice again taking it for William and Mary with 6 points right there, and the Linny coming alive, being the highest scorer actually between both of these schools, netting Wichita State University a total of 7 points. Really, really good stuff right there, man. Like they managed to find some fire in them, and it's not easy to come back hard after kind of getting smoked early. Like they were still in the single digits, but they managed to make the score look not too bad. Not too bad. Only a 5-point difference, which is honestly that's a lot better than it was before. So
yeah, you definitely did a good job of coming back from that. And with that actually being said, I believe we're gonna just take a short little break until the start of the next match, which starts at 6 p.m. Get some popcorn, guys.
Go to the bathroom.
Go hydrate yourselves. Go stretch a little bit. Walk around. And for those of you guys that stick around, really, really excited to see you back in 15 minutes. So stay tuned.
See you later.
Alrighty, gamers, we are back with Marquette University up against Mississippi State University. A little bit earlier than anticipated, but you know what? We'd like to be punctual. Better early than late.
That's right. You know, everyone's got to make sure that this crew battle is done before they play Steve tonight. So, ready?
Listen, we're here for a good time, not a long time.
That's right. Just like the man himself said. That man being Drake.
Wait, Drake was the one who said that?
Yeah, it's in the song.
There was no way. He did not invent that quote. He did not.
He probably didn't invent the quote, but he said it in the song. So he basically invented the quote.
So he basically invented it. Okay. Yeah. So it's his quote now. It's his quote.
So today's second match, we got Marquette University versus Mississippi State University. So Marquette being a nice little private university out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you know, home of the cheese. And we're going to be seeing some cheese from them hopefully today against Mississippi. We all know where Mississippi is. I guarantee if I gave you a map, you could probably point out where Mississippi is on it. They're representing the state, though, the entire state of Mississippi right now. So, right. So we got private university kids versus state university kids. So, you know, this is going to settle the age-old debate, you know. Who's got the better chops when it comes to the sticks?
Sean, I am trying my best to keep my composure, but I am like 30 seconds away from dying. Everything that you just said in the past minute just has my abdomen is exploding. So for game one, we're gonna be seeing Ilo and Mr. Man. I'm not particularly sure who either of these players play, but
you crying?
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie, just a little tiny bit. I was not expecting that entire spiel. I don't know when you came up with that. I don't know how you.
You gotta set up the narrative. You gotta set the narrative.
The narrative.
Yeah.
The state of cheese versus
state of cheese. Wisconsin. You had never had cheese from Wisconsin before? They're like. So there's a Smash and Splash when it did happen. Was in Wisconsin. It was in a place called the Wisconsin Dells, and like we were asking like our Uber driver like what is a food that we have to try that represents Wisconsin, and they said cheese curds. So cheese curds are like the Wisconsin delicacy that you have to try. Is basically what they were saying. So. I'm not lying about the cheese thing. That's a real thing.
No, you're not. No, not at all. Wisconsin white cheddar, definitely like what the region is really famous for. I really recommend Wisconsin white cheddar. But honestly, it can be like a bit of an aesthetic thing, but mostly it's like the texture, which really separates it from other cheddars, I find at least. It's a lot more squishy and soft, very similar to like, I don't know, like a Havarti in terms of texture, but without that soapy taste.
These transitions are clean, I must say. Whoever put these together, like, shouts to you. Oh, and hey, look at that. Look at what character.
Oh, buddy, look at that character. So I see, you know, a little tiny baby child that I'd kick in the shins, and I love him to death. We see Ness on the screen playing, of course, by Ilo, and Mr. Man with the Zero Suit Samus. Right off the bat, I want to say that this is maybe like a difficult matchup for Ness to really like get in on. Zero Suit has a lot of big dish joints just to sort of make it so hard for Ness to get close. Also,
I don't know if this is the game right here, if there's stuff in a little bit of connection issues or anything like that.
Oh, that's the game. Yep, that's the game.
It's all coming from who? Oh. How close are Wisconsin and Mississippi in terms of geographical distance? Oh my. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's not even the distance. It's just like the you know, that definitely doesn't help with the connection quality itself. Is definitely the antithesis of bug.
College internet is always interesting, to say the least. Like, you know, sometimes it's good, and when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, oh boy, is it bad?
Yeah.
That being said, though, Ilo doing a pretty good job of doing what Ness is supposed to be doing with the matchup, which is what?
What just happened?
I think either a jump from ledge from Mr. Man was attempted, or they were just hanging on the ledge for a little too long and ledge invincibility ran out, and Mr. Man just got stage spiked out of nowhere. But Ilo doing a great job of just getting these chip hits that Ness excels at getting on Zero Suit. The Zero Suit's game plan should be just keep Ness at bay and aggressively just keep poking as much as you can. But Ilo seems to know the correct moves to use here to get in on this character.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this game is looking kind of tough right now. Oh my gosh, and falling out of the up B. That's not something you want to see happen. That doesn't happen all that much. And I also just saw an up tilt attempt out of shield. That's typically like where you would see an up smash. This is tough. I don't understand how they're gonna be able to play this one out.
This is looking a little rough for both of them right now, but the show must go on. This is game 1, so maybe they can do... I don't even know what they would do after this.
Suffer?
Yeah, I guess, you know, this is the world. Wow. This is the world we live in, and you know, we just gotta roll with it, make the best of it. You know, sometimes it's out of our hands. But that boost kick coming out right, they're gonna be taking the stock. Hopefully, the connection smooths out over the duration of this set. Hopefully, Macquarie University. You know, these guys got private school internet, so I don't know what's going on over there, but.
Goodness, that's a lot of packet loss going on.
Yeah.
But that being said, Mystery Man able to almost bring it back, able to continue this edge guard, but unfortunately not getting the full spike. Well, just barely making it back onto the stage. Michael fighting for his dear life. Ooh, good auto cancel onto the platform. Really mixed up Mystery Man. And with the quick little back through to seal up the stock, this is looking like a pretty good lead for Ilo right now.
Yeah, if Mr. Man's just got to get one good edge guard though or something. Playing in lag is definitely a talent that you have to have. It does allow you to make more time to making your decisions or what you want to do. These guys trying to make the best of it right now. However, all of Mr. Man's landings are kind of getting caught out right now by Ilo.
Who tries to go for the dash attack to cover like you know, like a dash out. Not able to find it though. Really good mix up on the grab, catching Mystery Man, shielding a little bit too long. Nice movement with the magnet around the platform, setting up a little something, but holds on too long. And that's the up B. Yep.
Ooh, okay. There's a chance here for Mr. Man to bring this back though. They just need to get they do unfortunately need to win neutral just a few times unless they can get some sort of nair to flip kick type thing where they can take a stock quickly or just get this juggle off right now to just tack on more damage. Mr. Man can't afford to make any more mistakes, thus he'll be clipped by like a back air or something a lot more lethal from Ness, so they gotta be really careful.
A back air, you know, goes through the dash attack, not the best option there. At that point, a neutral, an up smash, anything would have been more than enough to take it, so I'm not really sure, especially at that position, why he'd go through that.
This is looking very scary for Mr. Man. One back air, back throw, or even a well-placed nair is going to spell doom. Oh, the F smash though coming out. This is Mr. Man's chance.
All Ness needs is one hit. Ness is
probably... that might be it. That might be it.
No way, it's Battlefield. Oh my god. Wait. Good lord.
Raggy. Mr. Man waiting their way through this connection. Able to pull it out. Game 1 against Ilo. I don't know what's gonna happen next. If they're gonna keep playing it out, or it's gonna be like a sub.
Yeah, I mean it's up in the air. It's probably gonna have to get EGF directly involved in this. It's unfortunate circumstances, man.
Gotta get a ref. Gotta get a referee on the court. That was a one stock. That's the last stock match right there for Mr. Man.
You know, when we said we were looking for crispy plays, we also
Mr. Man, though, managing to find their win condition out of nowhere. Yeah. They just needed to get that flip kick berry.
Zootsuit's just looking for that up B. That's Zootsuit's best win condition. Zootsuit's looking for it. They were able to connect it. Yeah.
So I'm very, very concerned because we did see the packet loss coming from Marquette University, so hopefully they can smack their router or report it to their school administrator in time. Not too sure what's gonna happen. Okay, yeah, that's true. If they're not all, it seems like Michael has his own switch. So if the other people from Marquette have good connections, it should be cool. Should be cool.
Yeah, but I think we were worried beforehand. that Marquette University might have a suboptimal connection.
It might be. Only time will tell, though, from here on out. Regardless, we gotta roll with it. You know, the show must go on, even if both of the actors' legs are broken and they're just kind of crawling on the stage. But you know, the show's still gotta go on. Still gotta make things happen around here. You know. So I'm very, very curious to see what stage counterpick we're gonna get. I think Battlefield is a fantastic stage for Zero Suit in this matchup. It's also good for Ness as well, just for catching landings and stuff like that. But I feel like Zero Suit just navigates around platforms and has far more opportunities to get berries too on the opponent. When you've got like 4 platforms in total to bury people on, there's a lot of real estate. There's a lot of free real estate out there for the taking.
I'm not gonna lie, the bag was kind of fumbled after that PK fire.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ilo had it.
PK fire. You know, the bag was right there in front of him saying, come here, buddy, just anything.
Just grab me.
Anything.
Just chase it. Just chase the bag.
Up air, back air, forward air, neutral air. You know, F tilt, up tilt might have killed too. You know.
So regardless, these guys picking the next stage. I wonder what was banned. Yeah, Zero Suit. It's pretty volatile, honestly. I feel like both characters can blow each other up or just have ways to keep each other at bay. Ness will be trying to catch landings a lot of the time or just getting little chip hits in when he can. And on the flip side, Zero Suit will be trying to keep Ness's grubby little hands away from her at all times by just using that whip, keeping space until they can get some sort of confirm or edge guard off. So I'm very... it's good to see Mr. Man, you know, hitting that cheese out there to get that kill. What they need, but it only puts Mississippi up by 1 point though. So Ilo does have ground to make up, and it's not that much ground at that. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, so it seems I have no idea about the status of like them playing it out or whatever. I don't know if it's just like the connection in Michael's dorm or something along those lines, but either way, we're in for a long evening.
Yo, this song is a banger.
This song is a banger, right? And let me tell you a little something about the person who suggested it. Their tag might be the Dr. Amgar. Snake Man is one of, the killer soundtrack for the Mega Man. It's so good.
Okay. I have never played I've only played like Mega Man Battle Network on my Game Boy as a kid. I've never played like a proper Mega Man game ever. That's a whole I want to eventually like explore like every game series in Smash to like some capacity. Just because I want to get to know. I want to get to know these characters.
Also, Upmind in the chat extending and I love you to you.
Hit him back with it. Hit him back with it real quick. Love you too, Gus. Big kiss.
What's going on here? What's happening?
Michael Switch has been thrown out his window.
Michael Switch has been, he temporarily shut it off. He wants to go close all the microwaves. He, has to get his dog off of like chewing the Ethernet cable.
Let's hear Detective Devin. Yeah, so I've had a similar problem as well.
Yeah, you gotta go in like airplane mode.
You have to just fiddle around with it, basically. I figured that was what it was, or like something along those lines. Yeah. So I forgot what I did to remedy that too, which sucks. So maybe this school might have a sub they can put in or something, or I don't know what. Yeah, sometimes it do be like that. Maybe should just restart the Switch entirely, I'd imagine. Depending on what, because LAN adapters are pretty cheap as well. So obviously maybe the technology in them might not be the greatest. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Until then, feel free to enjoy our soothing voices. Make sure you drop a follow to Duramgar at, I believe, what is it, Duramgar Smash on Twitter?
Yeah, you absolutely got it. And if you're not following already, you should be following at Fan9S. So in the meantime, we're just going to be waiting for Michael to jump back in. Listen, such is the nature with the Nintendo Switch and Wi-Fi. This happens. We just have to hold that. You know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's tough. It's tough out here, but we just got to hold it.
Sometimes you got to hold it. You know, but we are running a bit ahead of schedule right now, luckily. So y'all have plenty of time before you get your hands on some Minecraft Steve. I know I'm very excited for the character just to see how they're going to feel, how they're going to move. And it's always fun to just have another character to play in the game.
Oh, God.
Like,
Steve is wave landing. Huh.
You got to work epic.
Sean, I think you know what to say to that.
So are they going to replay the game? Or is it just they're just going to go ahead with the set? Because, you know, if I were Mississippi, I'd be like, I'm gonna take that lead real quick, you know. But maybe if they played on the better connection, both players.
The results of that game would be pretty different. Yeah.
Oh.
Haha. You know, inevitable. You know, Nest Wi-Fi, Nest lag. Woohoo. Guys, it's hard playing Nest with improper connection. Okay, it's difficult. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. This. Who knows what kind of changes are going to be made tonight by this patch, honestly. I mean, we got a whole new stage with one of the more recent ones, so... And, like, apparently improved peer-to-peer connection between two people. Oh. Okay. Respectable, yeah. So you got to hold it. Like, you got to make sure everything's set up properly. You know? Weird. And it's not like it's a substantial loss for there could be a risk of like, yeah, okay, Mississippi has a game, so they only need to win one more to get that sweet 2 points. But there's a lot of potential for Michael, or Ilo rather, to make this comeback and steal the set for Marquette. So we're gonna see what happens. See what happens here. Wait, really? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
Wow.
Ilo switching to Zelda.
Go!
Okay, already this connection is like night and day. Is it better? Is it phenomenal? No, I'm seeing a couple of, you know, lag drops. But this is a different beast entirely, for sure. Oops.
I can almost say this might be a bit easier for Mr. Man to manage, just because how Zelda can kind of get bogged down. It's not like the quickest character of all time. That being said, though, he just got some powerful options.
Ooh, can't be bringing you late on like that. Yeah, honestly, I think the game plan for Zero Suit Zelda might be a little bit more straightforward. Zero Suit definitely has everything she needs to jump in on Zelda. Much easier target to hit. Zelda's disadvantage against Zero Suit is super tough, especially since Nairu's Love isn't going to give you, you know, it's not going to give you the mileage you exactly want against somebody with such big disjoints. And Michael fishing for these lightning kicks out of shield, connecting only the first, but none others.
Yeah, right now, Mr. Man just trying to keep Ilo at bay. That should be a free boost kick stock right there. Yep, off the top, real quick from Mr. Man. Yeah, so, like, I feel like it's just that Zero Suit can rush down so well that it almost... Phantom is almost a tool that's probably not going to be thrown out too much, so it's going to be up to Mr. Man to cross up Zelda as much as they can on shield, avoid those lightning kicks out of shield, and just like that, if Zelda takes any damage whatsoever while she's summoning Phantom, the Phantom crumbles. It goes away.
Listen, like Zigga, I don't know about that up B. Zigga, like, she's exceptionally quick. She's one of the quickest characters in the game. She has ridiculous ground mobility. Her air speed is nothing to boot either. Like, she has everything she needs to move around Zelda's setup, especially on a stage like Yoshi's Story. Zelda doesn't have the space she needs to set up stuff like Phantom. You see Michael not even having the opportunity to do any of that at all.
And right now, Mr. Man using Zair immaculately to just poke out and safely just keep Ilo on their toes right now. Ilo really can't get anything started off right here. Just trying to go for the lightning kick, trying to find the kill somehow. Oof. Ooh, dash attack. Not going to take the stock just yet. Hanging by a thread. Oh, that could be stocked up. Woo! Okay.
Just like that, Mr. Man able to clean it up, bring it all the way back, runs up on Zelda, up smashes, able to set up the juggle, 29%, very clean, really solid, and just climbing.
Yeah, they're doing okay. Getting caught by the F smash, a little bit greedy right there on the dare. Probably tried to get the cross up or some such right now. Mr. Man needs to win neutral like a fair amount of times, but luckily once Zero Suit is in, she has no trouble with just continuing to attack on the percent whatsoever. And Michael just can't get anything started right now. I feel like Mr. Man is staying way too elusive for them.
Oh my god, you can't be missing a tech on the platform. Just like that. That is so scary. Good patience, you know, not overextending, just wants the ledge trap a little bit longer, rolls right, and that's the up B, and that's the stock, big boy.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Try, like, Ilo definitely jumped the gun, literally, when it came to dealing with Zero Suit Paralyzer, and they did the pretty much only option that would have gotten them hit by that. Maybe neutral get up could have been caught by it as well, but you gotta wait on the ledge. You gotta chill. There's nothing Zero Suit can do to you while you're there if she's all the way over there.
Yeah. And with that being said, that means this is going to be a clean for Mississippi State University.
State, that's right.
Mississippi State, yeah, they don't like it when we say Mississippi. So
yeah,
Mississippi
no. But that's gonna be a pretty good lead. And you know, waiting through connection like that ain't the easiest time a lot of the times. But if you can get an early lead off of it, that is what you need. You know, you say, yeah, I beat you, and your connections.
That's the resounding victory. That's the biggest dub that you could possibly take.
Absolutely, good lead off for Mississippi State University.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god. That's insane. We were praying. So, that's interesting. Okay.
Yep.
So they're all playing off the same Switch at Marquette, you know, like what we were praising Wichita State for last time might be kind of a detriment this time to Marquette. Hopefully they can get that situation sorted out with their Switch or just disconnect the Wi-Fi or something like that. It sucks. It sucks when you're the one with the bad connection because there's only so much you can do to fix it. Because a lot of the times connection is pretty much out of your power unless you have like a wired connection. But Mississippi being up, so everyone sit tight, stand by. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
Dear Lord. Oh Lord, I don't know what will happen. I'm very scared.
Yeah.
do it. Why not? Make everyone a Wi-Fi DDD. What's the
God,
worst
I
that can
wish. God, I wish my DDD go crazy.
Go burr.
Go brrr. So yeah, I guess. So they're still resetting the Switch and stuff.
Does that mean it's good? Let me look at mine real quick. So there's one. I don't know what the difference of the colors of the lights mean though. One is green and one's yellow. Oh, okay. Okay, so that is definitely. It definitely do be flashing. It do be flashing though. Yeah, this song still slaps. I can't. Oh yeah.
Guys, if you get a Wi-Fi DDD, I'm going to be so pumped.
Whatever dormitory they're in, they should just pull the fire alarm so everyone else gets off their setup. The internet. Yeah, calling me in real life. This music do be going kind of stupid, kind of crazy, kind of wild. Those guitars, oof. I don't think that's gonna be necessary, honestly. That's right. So yeah, we're gonna be seeing Smeckledorf going in against Yosefu. So I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know who Smeckledorf plays.
I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I wonder what somebody with the suffix of Dorothy plays.
Isn't that SpongeBob? Like from SpongeBob? We've been fooled, or we've been Smeckledorf, something like that. I think they said that in SpongeBob.
You're right. Wow.
Smeckledorf. Marquois?
They fixed it. I think, Sean, that's a resounding pog. Can we, everybody?
We're gonna hold our pogs real quick just so we see it in action. Don't count your pogs before they hatch, though. All right. Don't count your pogs before they champ, bro. I'm about to tweet that right now.
In the meantime, I will brush my hair, make sure it's nice and smooth. Yeah.
I could keep talking. How we doing, chat? How we doing? Are we doing good? You can unmute yourself. Yeah, by the way, guys, I'm not speaking to my imaginary friend right now.
Hey guys, Devin3000 here, your producer from House 3000, running the stream.
Producer.
We're praying right now. Welcome to our sigil.
Well, welcome to the monastery.
Yeah.
We be praying right now for this connection to go smoothly.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Sakurai will drop a surprise rollback netcode patch.
Yeah, all right.
Just kidding. That'll never happen.
It'll blow my mind. I'll host I'll host not a weekly but a daily. All right.
Look, I'll throw my hands away. Just take them off and throw them away. Just. Oh boy. So guys, Steve is actually coming up next for the stream.
Ooh.
He's going to be right here, live in person. He can answer all your questions too, in person. I'm gonna dress up in a Steve costume, and you can do. I'll do a live Steve AMA.
Should have been playing like somber.
The wildest thing is that I can actually see you doing that. and pulling it off pretty well too.
New sub goal, dude.
New sub goal.
My middle name is Steve, so.
Someone
That
shoves
is
Fang and he
true,
goes,
yeah.
I love the villager noise. They go, huh.
yeah.
Dude, some of the music they're gonna put in is kind of like
It is. It's a banger.
it's gonna
Like,
go
some
off
parts of the trailer, we're like, okay, why is this kind of heat?
because they couldn't use actual Minecraft songs because they're more like soundscapes.
Well, no, I don't think it's that. I think it was maybe like some copyright stuff.
You think so?
Yeah, they said like something like, oh, we couldn't use any of the original music.
I think it was because
I-
it wasn't fitting for like a
I
battle.
swear, I played Minecraft when it was in beta, and like, what music?
Yeah, it's just noisy.
It was all
If they put in
ambient.
Sweden, if they put in Sweden,
Yeah.
I would pop off.
I remember that too, David.
Yeah,
That was fun.
Game
I'm
was
I'm
like
kind of excited though.
$15 or $5. I don't even remember.
I look forward to learning another matchup where I get destroyed off stage.
I'm gonna like
Or
wall
look at-
cling to his blocks, a squirrel,
Ooh.
to come back. That's
That would be so sick, man.
what if they give Steve a wall jump, and then he can wall jump off of his own blocks.
That would be crazy. He could literally make his own recovery, which he can. I'm pretty
He
sure
already-
actually off stage he can.
Well, yeah,
put
because he
down
lands
block.
on a block, and then
Yeah.
he's like, oh look, I refreshed my jump.
Yeah.
If Kirby has, if
That's
that's his
insane.
neutral B, then Kirby has like 30,000 jumps. All right, Michael has returned, and their IP changed.
Welcome back,
so
Ilo.
maybe some new establishments have been made. I'm gonna go back off air.
Word.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
See you later. Fun talking to you. We're gonna hear you in my head for the rest of the night.
You guys didn't hear it, but he just let out like a maniacal chuckle. He's so proud of the fact that he's just like a quiet, spooky voice that none of you guys could hear.
I heard Zomba is gonna be playing Steve too, so I'm very curious. He's like gone full overboard with like.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. If you think about it, I want to see how people use his kit. Maybe he'll be the game's second freestyle trap character.
Stop saying that. Stop saying freestyle trap character. I can't.
Freestyle trap character,
I can't do it anymore.
just like Pac-Man, the game's first freestyle trap.
Also, you guys should be following Fan9us on Twitter because he just tweeted, "Don't count your pogs before they champ." And honestly, I couldn't agree more.
It's already gotten 6 likes in 4 minutes.
Because it's really good content. Okay, I'm gonna come up with my own. What's a good expression?
I don't know. There's a solid week though that Sohn, this Long Island player, was coming up with stuff that he'd put Pog in. So he would go like it was the best of Pogs, it was the worst of Pogs. It's like garbage like that. Oh boy.
Now I'm like really thinking about it. I'm just trying to come up with expressions. Or like sayings. What are like some common American sayings? I'm gonna go Google this now. Common American sayings. Just so that I could do something with Pog. Okay. Between a Pog and a champ. Pog champ. Yeah, that's a nice one, isn't it? Between a Pog champ and a Bible thumb.
Can't get over the song. It's just gas. It's just gas. The song is gas.
Gamers, we're finally jumping in. Game
Here we go.
2 of the evening. We
We got
have
Michael 2 versus
Michael 2, which is Smeckledorf, up
Smeckledorf.
against Yosefu, the Belmont. And boy, oh boy, if there is a matchup that that just excretes pain, it is this one. Ganondorf, one of the, big body, low mobility, has to go in on Belmont, on Wi-Fi. That's just difficult. Like, You know, and once you're in, of course, you can do like a little bit of damage, but Belmont's keep away game, you know, some of the best.
The connection already seems a little better, but I'm noticing some hiccups here and there. That being said, though, Yosufu having no trouble whatsoever dispatching Smeckledorf with that first stock. This is he's probably like, this guy's probably one of like the best Simon players in the entire world. He's pretty much the only player I recognize across the Super battles.
Oh, really?
My player research. So this guy's kind of nice. This guy's kind of got the sauce.
Yeah, and Yosufu, like, putting on the damage Michael, Smeckledorf is just not able to put in the slightest. Tries to set up that F smash, not able to find it, though.
Ooh, Kawhi, very smart to go down in there. No jump left on getting an excellent edge guard right there.
What do you do? As Ganondorf, what do you do coming back to stage against Belmont? You just suffer.
You rarely see Belmonts ever, like, go off stage for the edge guard, typically.
But when it's
really,
you just air dodge.
That's it. That's it. That's over.
Mhm.
It's over. Oh my god. I think you can almost fit that game within a clip. That was kind of crazy. How many 0 to deaths? How many 0 to deaths were there? What? What?
That was, I mean, that was absurd. I don't have any words for what just
happened. Did my man only get 2 hits on him the entire game? I'm pretty sure he just, oh no, he got a few. He got a few. But that was a resounding, confident 3 stock from Yosufu right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I really don't know what to say. Listen. If there is a way for me to give Smeckledorf a hug through countless miles, I really would. I felt that one, you know.
It's rough. The man couldn't find his way in, like, whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting kind of dispatched. And his DI off of some of the moves, like the smash attacks that Yosufu was throwing out, was a little lackluster. So I think they just got completely caught off guard by the
Could have been a little bit crispy, but even then, like, when you knocked off stage, as Ganondorf, in that position, even if you lived, you know, how are you gonna get back on? That's like a free edge, guard for Belmont, unless Yosufu, of course, messes it up.
That was a clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And now, right now, Mississippi State taking a fatty lead. Right now, that like a 3 stock game 1. If another 3 stock occurs, they're gonna push the threshold for points you can get off of one dude, which is 8 points. So that's gonna be putting Mississippi State ahead pretty hard. So
Yosufu, like, they're definitely in the running just to, like, you know, get a nice clean 8 points, further attacking onto the lead. Unless we see a character switch, I just simply do not see how this is possible for Smeckledorf.
I wonder if they have any other characters at their disposal. But typically at this level of play, in college level play, people usually only have one character at their disposal. They don't usually tend to counterpick too much.
Never mind. Gonna be going with Dr. Mario. Listen, I'd rather get stabbed than I would get shot, so that's a little bit better, I guess. Dr. Mario at least has a neutral to play with Simon, right? There's that counterplay we had with Hill, with Cape. Dr. Mario, albeit not that much more, has a bit better mobility. Yeah, and just like able to sort of control the ground a little bit with these pills. But you can't be extending on Belmont Shield like that. Up B is mighty quick.
Youngsters been very like methodical with a lot of the stuff they've been throwing out just to cover one space of approaching or another, to try not to let Meckledorf in whatsoever. Right now we're seeing that.
Yeah, and right now Michael once again, oh excuse me,
yo, oh my god, that was crazy.
That was so close to being quite the insane setup.
That would have been
early up B. Wow.
That would have been a sick clippy right there. The fact that he laid the holy water onto the top platform because he knew that Mario was getting up. Because I think there's only one direction you can get knocked from across, which is just like kind of straight up.
And again, trying to just cover all of these options with the projectiles. Michael just looking uncomfortable, not able to initiate, not able to get in on Yosufu at all. Anything started besides a couple of odd stray hits here and there. This has to be the edge guard, but Yosefu timing that neutral get up, gaining the stage control, and now try to get back onto stage against Belmont as Dr. Mario. Good luck.
I want to see Smeckledorf throw out some pills just to disrupt the timing, because it seems they're just kind of letting Yosefu get away with the majority of their trap setups and projectiles that they're throwing out. If they throw a pill, it can definitely disrupt the timing and prevent Yosefu from doing something. You know, doing the custom taunt with the whip right there. Very, very cheeky. And can Smeckledorf take one stock and stop the bleeding? Because Yosefu just looks like a freight train right now, and the momentum is insane.
Every point matters, but Smeckledorf is just struggling to break this space. Can't get anyone, not adapting to the fact that Yosefu is jumping. That was like 4 consecutive jumps.
Yeah.
Instead of just like meeting him in the air with like an up hit or something, just kept dash attacking and covering the ground, which is really bizarre.
That's a little crazy. Okay, trying to get that up smash right there. Yep, just do it the same.
That's
that spot dodge. That's one less stock on the board for Yosefu. That's really when you're down. I feel like the most you can do when you clearly know you're not going to win in this type of format is just stop the bleeding as soon as you can. So at least you're not, you're setting up your team and not drop as many seconds. That's going to be it. Great edge guard right there by Yosefu.
That could have been another
really,
wall
really
jump.
stuff.
I think if Michael didn't go, doesn't Dr. Mario get a wall jump?
I think Doc has a wall jump. I could be wrong.
Right? I'm pretty sure Doc has a wall jump. I think that was a completely doable recovery just by simply just like holding it in and being able to wall jump and then coming back onto stage. And if not, if Dr. Mario doesn't have a wall jump, then I look like a buffoon.
I've seen that game. I'm a fan of Yosefu's Simon. Very, very, very clean stuff. Really good conversions. Very methodical setups right there. Didn't seem like they were just letting Jesus take the wheel in terms of what projectiles they're going to be throwing out. Everything seemed to be thrown out for a purpose, rhyme, or reason. And now Mississippi State going to be getting some fat pointage off of that one. I believe it's going to be 7 points that they stack up in their favor, bringing Mississippi State University to 11? 11 points. Holy moly. So that's a whole double-digit lead on Marquette, who is yet to get a single game on the board right now. So they really have to dig deep and get something done here, because if not, Mississippi State is just going to kind of run over this one.
Yeah. Next up, we are going to be probably seeing El Jefe, or I don't know if it's El Jefe because it has 2 F's in it, and Jefe typically doesn't. So I don't know if they want me to say El Jefe or El Jefe with that one.
I mean, regardless, I think in Spanish, J is always...
Yeah, if it has an L behind it, I will say El Jefe.
Yeah, so I think it's El Jefe.
Up against PHAT, Fat.
Fat.
Yeah.
The Jeff. Yeah, I don't know what characters these two play, to be honest. But
neither do I.
I hope they're hype. We've been seeing lots of like crazy matchups though that you typically never see. I guess because like when you do watch like online tournaments, a lot of this stuff, they'll mostly tend to put the good players on stream, and so you'll be seeing a lot of the same characters over and over again along with the same matchups. But the beauty of these like this sort of pseudo crew battle is that I think team battle would probably be a more apt term to apply to it. Beauty of these team battles is that you can see any matchup. You just need to play one best of 3. No one needs to advance in a bracket. You just get your one best of 3, and then you're done. So we can see anything at this point.
Yeah, I mean it's not like impossible for Marquette. It's just looking pretty difficult at this point.
It's looking rough. It's looking rough. But I know I believe Yosefu was Mississippi State's anchor. I could be wrong though. But that seems to be their strongest player on the roster so far, and currently the MVP for their team. So hopefully somebody from Marquette can put something on the board. Again, all the boys are gathered around the Switch, trying to motivate each other.
We're going to be seeing actually Maze.
Maze is actually another name I've heard of as well, I believe.
Definitely heard of Maze. Not entirely sure who the Inkling is, unfortunately. But yeah, able to get the back end, not able to convert it into the up tilt. Good time shield coming from the player from Marquette. Ooh, good fireball just to extend that damage and perpetuate that edge a little bit longer.
Oh boy. So yeah, Mario Inkling, a matchup I should be seeing more of, honestly, out there in the landscape, since both these characters are very, very good, but I don't. I'm assuming, though, Mario, you know, his game plan is the same across the entire cast. Get one hit and push that baby as far as you can. Excellent conversion to the down air right there. That can kill off the top at, like, pretty good kill percents. And my man got his ledge trumps out here, too.
He's looking really, really clean. He's mixing up his movement a bunch. That was actually really smart to go for like the bigger legs fireball and then immediately to ledge just to wait out that angel threat and vulnerability. That being said, goes for the booyah, a little bit of damage. Finally, Marquette University able to get a bit of mileage going, but not for too long.
And what we're seeing right here, Maze looks pretty comfortable so far, just not tending to overextend too much. Using like one of the greatest projectiles in the game, Fireball, to aid their landings, almost as like an assist, like a striker in a fighting game, to kind of set up for that next hit or next punish.
Definitely.
That move mitigates the neutral super well.
They're using it to interrupt. They're using it just to throw Marquette, like University, like really off the rhythm. And just like making it really difficult for them to get started with anything. It's an amazing interruption tool. It's an amazing tool to like hit confirm into. Yeah, just overall really good stuff for Maze right now.
Yeah, wow, and catching the mistech with that back air right there. Yeah, Maze looking very comfortable and very solid in this matchup. Doesn't seem like this Inkling is able to get anything started right now, as Maze has been kind of smothering the hell out of him.
Ooh, tries to go through the finisher, not able to find it, go through the low recovery, really smart. Just tries to reset the situation, but the damage just keeps on going. Maze has those conversions on deck, tries to go through the hard punish on the neutral get up, not able to find it though. God bless him, ultimate and its multi-hits.
It's very rare that we see an Inkling kind of get stuck in their movement a little bit, but the way Maze has been pressuring and constantly threatening options and being ready for anything, it's definitely sent this Inkling into a bit of a tizzy. And the Fireball usage has been incredible too, just the way it arcs down.
Wow. It doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop.
It's heat-seeking. It's insane.
Heat-seeking, especially with Fireball, extremely appropriate. Ucheska for the reverse aerial rush back here, not able to find it, falling out of the down air, which most certainly would have killed at that point. Maze kind of fishing through that kill a little bit, but you know what? He can get away with it. His lead, massive.
Yeah, this is going to only extend. Oh my god, a classic, really good Mario coverage right there. And up Maze. And Mississippi State kind of running away with this one. Kind of sprinting away with this one. Maze now trying. It looks like Maze is now going to try and fight Yosfu for MVP for Mississippi State's crew, while Marquette is just struggling to get something on the board here. So hopefully they can dig deep and find something.
Yeah, well, that game was, you know, a slaughterhouse. that went so well for Maze. Maze was on top of it. Maze's conversions were spicy. Just able to squeeze every single last bit of damage out. And you're exactly right about that, like, comment, like, you don't often see Inkling get stopped in their tracks like that. That's tough. When an Inkling, you know, literally a fish out of water, I think is the best way to put it, right? When an Inkling like stops moving around the stage and stops being comfortable around the plats, then that's how you know that, like, okay, well, you know, the game plan is slowly being shut down.
I can't believe they two-framed Fireball. That was insane. That one stock they'd hit a two-frame with Fireball was... That blew my mind. That was just such solid Mario play. Like, that was ridiculous. Who uses that as the option? Most Marios will go for dash attack or something. There, but my son said, "Yeah, two frame, hold it." Hold it. And now I don't. Is this a surmountable comeback? Yes, theoretically, yeah, it is. But
yeah, of course it is. No, listen, I have some of the weeks ones.
The Inkling cannot lose this set because I believe, yeah, the Inkling literally can't lose the set. If they lose the set, that's it.
Yep.
That's gonna be a clean
They would
sweep.
need they would need that means the maximum amount of points that they can earn after this would be like 16.
Yeah.
But Mississippi would already be confidently over that. Mississippi State, excuse me, would be confidently over that 16. So no pressure, haha. But you need to bring something back like now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Without question.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so game 2, they are going to be running it to Town City instead of Smashville. I like the choice. Just let's Inkling time stuff a little bit better, keep it to their pace, but wow, 40% right off of the bat. Just messing up on that tech chase already.
Yeah, Maze already just kind of trying to run away with the damage. Almost caught the missed tech with the up air right there. That could have gotten the combo extended, but the hamburger helper coming out and taking that first stug.
The hamburger helper.
Yeah, he's got the heat. He's got the glove with the heat.
And just the tipping of the down smash, not even like the actual like big hitbox itself. Goodness. Okay.
And this Inkling looks like they're just struggling to find this hit. Like, Maze is doing such a good job of not overcommitting with a lot of their options and then maximizing the hell out of their punishes. This is insane.
Who tries to once again go through the hamburger help, who tries to close it off. Don't think it would have done at that point, but you know what? An offstage interactions, an offstage scenario. Like look at this, right? Like Inkling is just trying to cover these landings. Maze is mixing up his movements. Actually, the high recovery. Maze only at 76%. Inkling trying to fish through the roller a little bit. No pun intended, but not able to find it.
This is just looking like a clinic right now. A lot of missed techs coming out of the Inkling player right now. They have to make sure they got that unlocked. Because if you give Mario more time to extend his combos, I'll take it. The frame data on Mario is so good for just continuing to keep comboing. My man's also with these cross-ups. I feel like there's not a lot that Michael's been able to do. I feel like rather this Inkling needs to start exploring, I think, a little bit more of their moveset because they're kind of just going for these straight hits right there. Instead of doing what Inkling does best, which is moving in neutral, baiting out hits, doesn't matter.
Because you buff neutral.
Doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. That was an 8-0.
That was a clinic. That was crazy.
That's an 8-0. That means Mississippi State University is sitting at what, 22 points?
22. This is pretty much insurmountable, in fact, at this point for Marquette.
No, not just pretty much. It is. They need to maximum amount of points that they can earn is 16. And even then, that's not going to be able to put them over the top. That means Mississippi State University is going to be a champion, but of course, we're not down and out of it yet. Marquette now is going to be simply playing for points because they matter at the end of the season for something, you know? They
got to get one person on the board. They need somebody to get at least 1 point. You don't want to go out with no points. You don't want to go out with 0 points. Take a game. Do something. Wipe yourself off. It's true. But yeah, next up, I think we're gonna. I don't know who the Inkling player exactly was who just played. Whether it was Fat. Yeah. It was Fat. Okay.
Okay, so that was Maze and Fat. So now we're gonna be seeing Fancy Old Chap and Griff.
I like that tag, Fancy Old Chap. That's a great tag.
That's.
I wonder who they play. I wonder if they play a character befitting of a gentleman.
Like Ness.
No.
How about DDD?
Maybe like Marth or something. Oh, the El Jefe. El Jefe. Fighting who? Griff or Spencer? Okay, so we're gonna have Griff versus El Jefe. Oh, okay, it's pronounced Jefe, apparently.
So I was right.
Incorrect Spanish, but we'll take it, I guess.
I was right. I looked at it, I saw the Jeff with 2 F's in it, and I was like, I feel like they want me to pronounce the J in this. Oh man. Oh Sean, that game was a clinic.
Yeah, that was Maze and Yosfu showing like really impressive play, just like great mastery of their character throughout that. Like they probably do damage at actual tournaments too. I have to imagine within Mississippi and stuff like that. So that was kind of nutty, kind of crazy.
So that's a little bit silly. Wait, what? What did Dev say?
He said fly up to New York, get spanked. We'll fly him out. That's really funny. Enter Zeno. Oh wait, they can't enter Zeno. They're from Mississippi.
Alrighty, gamers, going into game one between. Goodness, I don't know who this is anymore. Is this El Jefe?
I think it's El Jefe versus who's Connor? Who's Connor? Because the only two people left for Marquette.
No, Griff is the Gob, and El Jefe is the Game & Watch.
Oh, right. Okay. Wait, why is his name Connor? We'll take it, I guess. All right. And we've got the Pikmin music to pop off this game right now. Pikmin fans, put your hands up.
Oh, speaking of difficult matchups, Game & Watch and Rob just kind of struggles to land on Game & Watch's shield, and Rob does a whole lot of that in his regular game plan. Good stall, though, making it very difficult for Game & Watch just to go off stage.
I can imagine this could be a little tough for Rob, just because it seems like Game & Watch has more than enough tools in their arsenal to deal with both the projectiles that Rob can put out, and the ability to keep Rob in disadvantage for a while. Plus, a lot of those on-shield options, Game & Watch's up B can kind of just escape a lot of the boxing. So this is gonna be pretty rough. I'd say for Griff.
Wow, that dash attack still being able to just get under Rob, under that forward, still hit him. That's the 1-2. He gave him the 1-2. That down smash, half smash, nice and reliable. Able to get those kills extremely early because those attacks just so powerful for no reason to. Not able to link these nails into each other. Tries to extend a little bit without player, not able to find it too much though.
Oh my god. And the 2-frame down air right there coming out. Yeah, I gotta say the matchup coverage that Mississippi State has had over Marquette has been kind of crazy tonight if you think about it. Like the matchups have almost always been in Mississippi State's favor throughout locking that in. I don't know if the picks are random or if they strategically draft who is going to fight who before each set, but I feel like a very unlucky draw happened when determining these matchups.
We're now going to be looking for a way to take out that stock. I don't think he had intended to go with the forward. Perhaps the back would have been more than enough to do the trick. How is El Jefe going to be able to get this ledge up? Just goes for the F throw. Gets a bit of stage control.
Oh boy, it's just looking like a little bit of work is definitely being put in by Griffin right now, but it just seems like El Jefe has the coverage down. Like he knows what to look out for. He knows how to keep Rob. Like this Rob can't recover. This Rob can't make it back to stage safely.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Good awareness. Just
We don't
dash
want
back.
stock lead. This is super huge. Have in mind that's going to be the upfield. Game & Watch is still.
Oh my god!
Never underestimate Battlefield.
Okay, this is the start of big combo coming out right now.
Come on, in full hop.
From El Jefe.
Oh,
I just yeet.
just get out. This
See you
is
later.
my stage, buddy.
He's cleaning up these streets. Just getting them out of there.
Good. Oh my gosh, that fade back was excellent. It was such a good bait on the neutral edge. Made Griff overextend and was able to get the web punish on it. Yeah, well, El Jefe is kind of killing it right now.
This is looking a little bit better now for Griff. It seems like they've finally woken up and have slowed their game plan down quite a bit to deal with the onslaught. They do say players play best on their last stocks. Players either play their absolute best or their absolute worst on last stocks. So it's looking pretty much it's looking like the former right now for Griff. He seems to have a better conscious control that, hey, if I swing first, I'm going to get whiff punished by this Game & Watch. So I'm going to wait a little bit, and then I'm going to punish.
Wow, and that, the bacon just does so much just to like stop gyro, it interacts and then pushes it back. Side B is going to be able to kill, and that means Griff actually within the realm of doability.
Yeah, he finally. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Yeah, he got caught by like the very, very tip of that hammer right there. But yeah, it seems like Griff has definitely has been making some adaptation. He managed to finally catch. Because Game & Watch is down there ain't as safe as people think it is. If you dash away from it after he hits the ground, you do have a very good punish window on him to get him. So I think Griff caught onto that, managed to get that arm rotor right there, and minimize the bleeding like quite a bit. He almost could have reversed that game. So I'm very curious to see how we're going to go into game 2 now that these players have been making some adjustments throughout it.
I think there were like a couple of things. I think LJFA could have definitely like maximized his damage output. There were times when he was like short hopping, when he could have landed with a full hop neutral air and like extended his combo a lot and got him like a lot more bang for his buck. I think especially with Rob, it definitely gets demolished by combos, and Game & Watch. Game & Watch has some pretty nasty stuff from 0%. There's definitely that. Other than that, I just feel like it was like a very like slow, patient match. I like the way that both players decided to like pace it.
Right now, though, Mississippi State up 20 points on Marquette University right now. At this point, their goal just needs to be get something on the board. I don't know if there's been any full-on blowouts during this season so far. From what I'm looking at, I'm going to say no. Right, this is only like the second or third week that they've been into it, if I recall correctly. Maybe
this is the second week.
The second week, so yeah, probably. I don't know if there's been any full-on. Oh, there has been a full-on blowout. St. Peter's fully robbing Manhattan College of any of their points earlier on. So this will only be like the second blowout if it does happen. Oh wait, no. Right, another one is apparently happening for St. Peter's right now as they're denying Rider University of points as well. So St. Peter's looking like a very dominant school right now. In this collegiate.
Already switching to the King K goal.
I don't know. I feel like the Rob was making its comeback.
The Rob was making its comeback. I feel like it was doing some stuff.
It was trying to do something.
Oh my gosh, that was a great interaction. So, LJFA option selected that down B immediately. We're just like anticipating Crown Evang. Wasn't finding it. You seeing like Griff just not use any of those projectiles at all. And there's like that slight adjustment period for LJFA.
Oh my, that was so scary.
You shouldn't be early dodging those. You have no reason to early dodge them at all.
Yeah.
You actually gain nothing from doing that.
Griff seeming to go with the age-old plan. If it ain't working, switch to a Wi-Fi heavy. And so far not paying too much dividends out there for Griff right now. Is Jefe is just El Jefe, I should say, is pouring on the percent just more and more. I feel like going to heavy against Game & Watch is a tough cut, because yeah, you only need a few hits to kill Game & Watch, but he can keep you at disadvantage for a very, very long time.
Oh my gosh, speaking of just a few hits,
there you go.
Down tilt F smash and just cleans it right back up. That's a KO at 172%. Goodness gracious, this should be the stock. This should be F tilt, but you know what? Down smash for the cover, just in case it didn't cross up.
It's crazy that both the sour and sweet spot of Game & Watch down smash are good.
Every part of down smash will kill. It has a hitbox that'll send you up. It has a hitbox that will send you to the blast zone. It can bury you. Like, down smash is just absurd.
That move is great. Right now though,
this pick working out.
Griff looking a lot better, yeah, for sure. He's been taking a more reserved approach, I think, and has just been waiting for Jefe to whiff in front of him. But and it might be also the smaller stage pick. The stage pick. Stage pick. Jesus.
Able to link these nails into each other, just giving LJFA like a really good advantage. It just gave, oh my god. cross up, got a little bit
not
too
bad.
greedy, and Kego, haha, tummy go pluck.
This is looking a lot better for Griff. Like, I will say that Jeff A isn't like chasing too hard off stage with Bear, because it is a pretty good disjoint, and Game Watch can definitely afford to go off stage a lot of the time. I don't know, he's like kind of sticking to the same game plan of trying to range out with bomb, but it's not working.
Yeah,
And this
he's
could
definitely
finally,
a lot more bombs than I've seen other Game & Watches use. No back hitters at all for like the
Oh, there you go. There's one.
You know what? Sure. Forget exactly what I said. I feel like El Jefe is like losing his stocks extremely early, right? And that's
Ooh,
not
great
just because of like a Game & Watch thing, but that's like King K. Rool. You know, King
Yeah,
K. Rool
he's big.
taking those stocks.
He big, he hit hard. So this could be the cusp of something getting started, the start of something new for Griff right now. If he can just get this 1 point, you know, he can put Marquis on the board. But one more good confirm, I think, actually, from Jefe might actually end this. So Griff has to be very careful.
And again, it's just so difficult for King K. Rool to get back on. You know, like some of these projectiles just being able to two-frame, forcing the lower recovery not to back. That's just
There
tough.
you go. He
That's
finally
so
found it.
tough.
Yeah, he just couldn't get off the ledge. That's the thing about being a heavy against Game & Watch, man. He's just got so many tools to keep you in disadvantage and keep you oppressed. And he did it. He managed to save the perfect score for Jefe, and now Mississippi going up even more now. So the last call coming up, as it's all on resting on Spencer's shoulders to get Marquette on the board right now against Fancy Old Chap.
Yeah, that's another 4 points for Mississippi State University. Marquette, get a point. This is it. This is your time to shine. The final player. The final player is Spencer. Spencer. That's the tag. Just straight up Spencer.
Yeah, just Spencer.
up against Fancy Old Chap. You know, I feel like somebody with the tag Fancy Old Chap would be named Spencer. I don't know. It feels right to me. You know. But gamers, as we are approaching the final set of the evening, I would just like to remind everybody, number one, hydrate or dehydrate, okay?
That's right. That's what I'm doing right now.
You should have a nice bottle of water next to you at all times, especially if you're commentating or whatever. Listen, when we game, and that has like a little trademark symbol next to it, we tend to sort of lose track of time. You guys want to make sure that you sit down, have something that hydrates you properly. Water, seltzer is my preferred choice. Preferably something without sugar in it. Really nice way to keep yourself hydrated. Second of all, guys, please get up and walk around every once in a while. You know, make sure the blood is flowing. Make sure that you're stretching yourselves out appropriately. If you've been typing or, you know, playing League of Legends or something, please make sure to do your hand stretches. I can't tell you enough how important hand stretches are for esports. Like, they are a necessity if you want to avoid lifelong complications. And third, if you aren't following EGF SSBU, you should go ahead and do that. Second, you should be following House of 3000 at House of 3000 on Twitter. They're the ones responsible for this broadcast, this stream today. Third, you should follow Fang at Fan9S, my lovely co-commentator. And if you also want, you don't have to, you could follow me to see all of the awful tweets that I put out. They're so bad. They're so bad. My tweets are horrendous. They're like atrocious. You can confirm firsthand.
So this is it's looking do or die right now for Marquette. They gotta put something together. Something. I don't know what, but they gotta put something together. Or else they're at risk of being they're not. Well, if actually if Fancy Old Chat managed to get 5 points, or 6 points rather, off of Marquette, they will be the highest scoring differential of the entire season so far, which will be 29-0. Right now, the record is set by St. Peter's University over Manhattan College, taking it 28 points. as opposed to 0. So, oh, hopefully Spencer can dig deep.
Okay, Spencer, you're gonna pull out the sickest, schnastiest schmicks known to humankind. That one didn't come out. Great. We are gonna be. Oh.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
huh?
3, 2, 1, go!
So Spencer, okay, so this is the Spencer that they were talking about. Okay, so Spencer, I actually do know this Spencer, I think. I believe he is a Wisconsin PR'd Nest player, if I recall correctly, from somewhere in the Midwest. Either that or I could be completely capping, and this is the Spencer I'm thinking of. But there might be some promise coming out here from Marquette.
Man, already, like I'm like seeing like a pretty good handle on some Nest movement right off of the bat. Goes for the dash attack, sets up the juggle, tries to finish it, but unfortunately on Battlefield, you're not going to be able to get those. I love the attempt. I love that kind of stuff. So cool. Wow, nice back. You just get Wolf off stage. Good use of laser though, and nicely spaced up B as well. Didn't give Spencer the time of day to be able to space down smash at ledge.
So fancy old chap playing Wolf, reeling back that down smash as much as they can right now. Stock pretty much being risked. One good back air from either character to definitely take the stock off right now. Fancy old chap managed to secure that first stock.
If you're calling out like stuff with like Nasape, you always have to keep in mind that the move starts behind you, so you might want to go very rush it. But that being said, fantastic charge on that up smash. That's a good way of catching people dashing in. Speaking of dashing in, not able to connect that double PK fire. Tries to go through the drag down up air extension, not able to find it though. Oh my gosh, kind of cooking right now. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's definitely cooking a bit. Managing to get out of that down throw dash attack actually. Tried to connect that down tilt to maybe a grab or something else right there. Yeah, Spencer coming alive right now.
Ooh, yes, stage spike with the PK Thunder. That move is so particularly tricky because unless you are a Nets player yourself, you probably don't know the angle that it sends you at. It'll always send you horizontally to the same direction that it comes from, which is like very different to how a lot of moves operate.
Yeah.
It's definitely really odd. Not a lot of moves send you dependent on the actual like angle of the projectile itself. So it's just something you always have to be mindful of. Love the PK fire though, just to cover themselves a little bit.
Yeah, so Spencer being very careful of how he's navigating throughout all of these Wolf aerials, and fancy old chap trying to find something to get started up now. But I think Spencer is now acclimated to the range that he needs to respect Wolf at. He's just got to be very careful that he doesn't run into anything within dash attack range of Wolf, because it will be enough to scoop Spencer up and get this stock off. A little crazy there, but he doesn't get punished for the up B.
Man, fancy old chap was swinging, but unfortunately, oh beautiful tech chase. That was delicious. Mamma mia, nice and spicy, just the way I like to see it done. Oh, phenomenal. I love those. I love those. Those are so good. That's so sick.
Yeah, what even led into that?
Set up a little tech chase. Let me tell you exactly what happened. Set up a little tech chase. Goes for the PK Thunder, and then you know what happens? Fancy old chap techs in and just sets up the funny haha get PK Thunder too. Silly moves.
That's do be killing early sometimes. So, but we're gonna see finally though a point, I believe, being put on the board. The first game being won for Marquette, so they have not been completely blown out.
And not just that, 2 points to boot. 2 points. Very, you know,
a 2 stock, pretty good stuff. So they're really out here now, which is good. I want to see if they can definitely bring the differential down just a little bit more. If Spencer can hope to put something on the board, or rather not on the board, but rather close the gap just a little bit against Mississippi State right now. So, but now the pressure's kind of on for fancy old chap, because he has to be, if he doesn't win this set, he'll be the only one who doesn't win a set on Mississippi State for tonight. So there's some pride on the line for both sides, I'd say. Yeah.
No, that's definitely without a doubt. Like, obviously, like, you want the perfect win, but at this point, it's like, you know, you on it.
If you're going out on an L, you know, is it really a W? I mean, yeah, absolutely. But, you know,
the dub is
4-1 looks a lot better than 5-0.
The dub is relative, okay? There are different kinds of dubs. This could be a spiritual dub.
That's right.
That being said, going to be opting for PS2 Game 2. In my opinion, there really isn't like a bad stage that you can kind of take Ness to through this matchup. Anything kind of like, he'll still be able to do his thing. But of course, Wolf loves PS2, unable to actually string the uppers together. And I think that's a partial consequence of not actually connecting all of the hits of the first up air. Not enough damage and thus not enough frame advantage.
Oh boy, though, but like that, that was the perfect hitbox for Spencer to get something, but definitely a little overzealous to go for a bat off the first PK fire. But that yo-yo gonna be claiming that first stock.
So you gotta attack. Can't be neutral, get up and goes.
Gotta make sure,
I really like the way that Spencer is going through like a lot of dash attack tech chases out of PK fire. They just like set up into tech chase, excuse me, and they just have like a lot of option coverage. Goes through the back there for stage control.
Oh no, they got hit by it again.
But yeah, very high recovery, fantastic.
Yeah, really good stuff by Fancy Old Chap right there to know. Okay, great nair right there too. Wow, that was so good. Like, this matchup can be like, Wolf does pretty well against Ness, but it can be a little daunting if the Wolf player doesn't know how to respect Ness's range a lot of the time and when to get your safe hits and follow-ups. Because if you're caught overextending as Wolf, you're eating a hurting.
Wow, love those back hits. So much pressure in the corner. It's just so difficult to be able to get past that, especially if you don't have phenomenal out of shield options. That move is pretty safe on shield. It'll cover a roll in just because of how big that hitbox is. Very little that you can do in that scenario, honestly. You just pray that you get out of it.
And now right there, the pride is all on the line for Fancy Old Chap right now. Spencer seemingly ran away with this game too just a bit. He needs to claim this stock quickly and finish it off, or else Spencer is going to be getting a nice little pool of points for Marquette to tie off this crew battle. And that, if you're the superior school, you want the clean sweep. You want to get that full dub and be like, yeah, we dominated the hell out of you guys.
So I like the way that Spencer's just like really covering all of these techs and always going through the immediate down air, the immediate down smash.
Scary stuff right there.
That shield, non-existent.
Oh, one back air from ledge is gonna take it.
That up smash was a little bit spaced too far out, not able to hit Wolf at all during his 2-frame animation.
Ooh, and he gets poked out by the up air, and Spencer is gonna take the first set for Marquette after the last set of the night right there. Good stuff to Spencer. Still though, Mississippi State.
6 points?
As a 2-stock, yes, that's gonna be 6 points. So the final score is gonna be 23-6 for Mississippi State's victory right here. The MVP for Mississippi State is going to be Maze with a total of 8 points overall, and the MVP for Marquette is going to be Spencer with a total of 6 points. So, you know what in the darkest hour, Spencer managed to come alive and
absolutely,
show that Marquette still has some fight left in them.
Yeah, quite the anchor. Hopefully by next week, Marquette University will be able to really shape it up. Spencer definitely looking like the star of tonight for Marquette University, and for Mississippi State University. Just about every single other set was it was a slaughterhouse, and that it goes without question. Gamers, I believe we've reached the climax of the evening. We've already passed it, and here we are. Unfortunately, we will not be streaming the rest of the games because, as you might know, Steve is actually going to be dropping.
It's coming.
Yeah, in less than 2 hours, as a matter of fact, 9 p.m. sharp Eastern time. So you know what, guys, get your switches ready. Get ready.
Quickly.
Yes, sir. You have less than 2 hours. Lord knows I have a million replays on my.
This games, college boys and gals, get your boys and gals together and do start off the night with a good old 4v4 or 2v2 Steve match, just to test them out, test the waters, have a good time, have fun. Make sure you're staying hydrated, washing your hands. Call your mom; she probably misses you. And have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, have a good night, guys. Thank you so much for watching us. Bye bye.